It's Tuesday, December 9th. Today, Portage Main, the impact reopening the intersection is having on traffic. Fast-tracking permanent residence for foreign-trained doctors, Canada's next step to connect more physicians with patients. And later, a holiday tradition, the Christmas display commissioned in Winnipeg, now at home in Saskatchewan. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Tuesday to you. Welcome to Your Morning Winnipeg. Ainsley McPhail is live with Harvest Manitoba this morning. They released their Voices report, which they do every year, and their numbers are staggering. They're showing a huge increase in the growing need. Every month they get about 60,000 people needing support. Wow. So they need support to ensure that people get what they need this holiday season and beyond that as well. So we're going to find out a little bit more about that. But driving into work today, there's snow all over the roads.
Yeah, it's sticking around this time, right? And it's starting to actually pile up a little bit. So keep that in mind for your commute. Give yourself a little extra time, not just to, move a little more slowly and take that extra time on the roads themselves, but also to sweep off your vehicle if you happen to be parked outside this morning. Yeah, there's a little bit of it. Not a lot, but a few centimeters that we're seeing. -12 is where we're sitting right now as far as morning temperature goes. We are still above seasonal. -19 would be that normal low, but our wind chill value is a lot closer to that. It feels like -18 with an 11K wind out of the south-southeast. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 90%. Things are starting to glow a little bit now. The way the lights hit the snow and everything seems to look a little bit brighter. So I suppose we have that in our favor. And a fresh dusting of snow always makes things look so fresh and clean too. Here you can see on the satellite image, more of that will be moving in. We're still seeing a few flakes right now, very lightly, but things could really get a little more active as we continue to see what's moving through southwestern Manitoba, move a little bit further to the east. Central Manitoba, you're also going to be seeing some. For northern Manitoba, you might actually get a little bit of clearing. Now, clearing also sometimes means colder, and you could see those temperatures dropping off a little bit. Speaking of temperatures dropping off, ours will for tomorrow. Today will actually be the warmest day of the week and maybe even slightly above seasonal. Sure, we'll deal with the clouds and a little bit of scattered snow, but things will actually clear out for tomorrow afternoon somewhat. But by tomorrow afternoon, those temperatures are really starting to slide. Today will be one day spent slightly above seasonal when -9 is a normal daytime high. We'll climb just beyond that to about -7. That's not going to be where we start the day. We're falling to about -12 overnight. We might get as mild as about -10 tomorrow, but through the afternoon, dropping down to -16. Still some scattered snow in the morning. It should clear out later on into the day, or at least the snow will taper off. And then as it actually continues to clear, you'll see those temperatures falling even further yet.
Thank you, Terry. Many feared the reopening of Portage Main to foot traffic back in June would add big delays to commute times, but the city says there's been almost no impact on drivers. CTV's Joseph Bernacki explains.
David Crone was one of the first people to walk across Portage Main back in June.
I crossed the morning of. I was there at 10 o'clock in the morning when they opened it up.
The executive director of Cerebral Palsy Association of Manitoba lives with a condition which limits his mobility. He says the reopening was much needed for the accessibility community.
It removes barriers. All those invisible barriers that people, if they're not using a cane or a wheelchair or walker or whatever that situation is, even just navigate through space.
Crone says on average he crosses here once a week on foot. He says he is surprised to see so few people using the crossing.
I really don't see a lot of people crossing, to be honest.
But there are people walking, an average of 3,570 people daily since September 1st, according to new data from the City of Winnipeg. As for that impact on traffic, minimal, says the city. A recent analysis of time spent in traffic for all routes shows a negligible increase from last year when the barricades were up. Mayor Scott Gillingham says that's encouraging.
There was a lot of doomsday, kind of noise that before it opened that, there would be a lot of accidents and traffic delays would be long. That just hasn't happened.
Morning travel on two routes was unchanged year over year. Travel time for the other two increased by less than a minute. Afternoon travel time on one route actually decreased and increased on the three others by 1 to 2 minutes. City Councillor Janice Lukes put forward a plebiscite motion back in 2018 where Winnipeggers voted no to opening Portage Main. She says it's a relief because city engineers had forecasted much worse.
Every traffic flow is going to be all over. It was traffic Armageddon, right? And none of that happened.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A veteran Winnipeg police officer who took and shared a photo of a dead woman while on duty is off the force. Police Chief Gene Bowers says Elston Bostock, who was previously suspended without pay, is no longer a service member. Last month, Bostock pleaded guilty to several offenses, including causing indignity to human remains. The 22-year member of the service has not yet been sentenced and still faces other charges. A 12 and 14-year-old girl are facing charges following a violent robbery that sent a woman to hospital. It happened November 26th in the parking lot in the 2300 block of McGillivray Boulevard. Police say a woman in her 60s was returning to her vehicle when two teenagers demanded her purse. When the woman refused, she was stabbed. The woman was taken to hospital in unstable condition. She's since been upgraded to stable. The two girls were arrested Friday in Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation by Verdun RCMP. Both are charged with robbery. The 14-year-old was detained in custody and the 12-year-old was released on an undertaking. None of the charges have been tested in court. Winnipeg firefighters are sounding the alarm over the city's proposed budget. It includes a plan to hire 40 firefighters over 4 years, with 10 joining the service next year. But the union says it falls well short of the service's request to hire all 40 firefighters in 2026. Union President Nick Casper says the city will end up paying more in overtime costs than it would to simply hire more firefighters.
We're hoping that they apply some common sense in this budget, and instead of waiting till the end of the year and wasting $10 million in overtime, that all that we're asking to accelerate the hiring and double the number of hires this year would only cost between $300,000 and $400,000. We're talking about pennies on the dollar here, and right now this budget robs Peter to pay Paul.
Casper says more than 99% of the union's members voted against the proposed budget in an internal non-confidence vote. The union's call to hire more firefighters is set to be discussed at the Executive Policy Committee meeting this Friday. Then the proposed budget is set to go to a final vote on council on December 17th. U.S. President Donald Trump is threatening new tariffs on another Canadian industry.
A lot of it does come in from Canada, and so we'll end up putting very severe tariffs on that if we have to.
Trump made the comments after announcing a $12 billion tariff relief fund for American farmers. The U.S. is Canada's largest fertilizer market, accounting for over half of all total exports each year. Parts of Japan were rattled by a powerful earthquake Monday, triggering a tsunami evacuations and sparking massive fires. The quake struck about 80 kilometers off the coast. About 90,000 people were ordered to evacuate, and waves of up to 70 centimeters were seen in some coastal areas from the tsunami. Fire officials say at least 23 people were injured. The government has set up a task force to deal with the damage. Going forward, getting to MPI's driver training program won't be like landing tickets for a popular concert. Okay. Registering for the Driver Z program was on a first-come, first-served basis. Now students need to sign up at an MPI service center or broker by January 3rd. Then they'll get an email telling them when and how to register, with older students getting earlier registration windows. MPI says the idea is to take the stress off parents and students. It was a big day for kids at the Rehabilitation Center for Children as they got a visit from some Jets players.
Yeah, of course.
The NHL stars met with the kids and their families to chat, give autographs, and take photos. Assistant captain Josh Morrissey says the meetup is an annual tradition to spread holiday cheer.
It's easy as a hockey player to get caught up in the wins and losses and kind of the tough days of the NHL season, but I think when you come, get to interact with some kids and families that are oftentimes going through, life-changing and very difficult situations, and they have a smile on their face, they're optimistic, and just looking forward to the little things in life. I think that puts into perspective, wins and losses.
Jets players also visited kids at the Children's Hospital. Taking a look now at what's happening on McPhillip Street. It looks like things are moving well over here, but you can see there's a little bit of snow on those streets, so be mindful of that when you head out this morning. If you see any issues out there, please let us know. 10400 is our text. Let's go down to Ainsley McPhail, who is live at Harvest, Manitoba this morning. Hello, Ainsley.
Hi, Rochelle. Good morning. You mentioned the staggering data off the top of our show. 60,000 people a month utilizing the food bank here, and that more than doubles when you talk about the programs and services outside of that, including our northern communities. But with their Voices report that interviewed 600 people, what was staggering to me was 62% of families go hungry once a month or more because they simply cannot afford food. And they're seeing more families with children under the age of 18. That increased from 32% to 45%. This Voices report is done annually, and this is their 5th edition. We're going to talk with the president and CEO Vince Barletta later on in the show about what they're using with this data and how they're trying to improve the lives of hundreds of thousands of Manitobans. So stay with us throughout the morning while we chat about the challenges people are facing and what you can do at home to help.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now where our Terry is. And how's it feeling out there?
You know, not bad at all. And honestly, I want to take back all of my complaints for yesterday. Sure, it was like a little bit abrupt as far as like the change-up goes, mostly because I was on this tropical vacation and I hadn't had a chance to adjust to those temperatures. But on my walk home yesterday, now I came properly bundled. Remember, I talked about digging out my parka early in the morning. I had it on, I had my mittens on, I had my toque on. I was feeling pretty good, and today will actually be warmer than yesterday. So, I mean, I didn't change up the coat, still in the parka, and I would recommend your warmest layers. But it is, if you're properly dressed for it, pleasant out here, especially with a little bit of light snow and a fresh dusting making things look so clean and fresh. Minus 12 is where we're sitting right now. There's just a bit of a breeze, 12 clicks right now. So to the south-southeast, making it feel more like minus 18. But even that, even our wind chill value is still technically above seasonal low temperatures. Minus 19 would be a normal low. Minus 7 is where we're headed today with the mercury, which will surpass a normal daytime high of minus 9. But today might be the mildest and the only day that we'll spend above seasonal throughout this week. Tomorrow, those temperatures are actually going to be dropping through the afternoon. Now, we'll see a little more snow today. That'll continue overnight and into tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, those temperatures continue to fall. And that's when the real cold sets in and sticks around for the rest of the week. We want you to stick around because we're coming back with more right after this break.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Give a child a winter coat. You give them the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside, because no child should be freezing cold. Donate to Coats for Kids. Proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
Good morning. Winnipeg Transit is presenting its budget proposals to city councillors, and officials say this year Transit didn't pull in as much money as expected. In 2024, Winnipeg Transit managed to restore ridership to 95% of pre-pandemic numbers. But this past year, the number dropped to 89%, a dip of about 6 percentage points. Part of the decline was anticipated due to the changes rolled out this summer. However, Winnipeg Transit says the numbers started falling at the end of last year, before the new routes went into effect, and they don't know why.
One system that I talk to a lot is called WMATA in Washington, D.C. And they have seen the exact same thing as well. They launched a major network change exactly on the same day we did, and they saw the same thing where they've seen a bit of a decline in ridership since the launch, similar to what we have, but they also saw that decline starting late last year, and they also don't know why.
Public Works Committee Chair Janice Lukes suspects safety concerns could be a factor. This fall, Winnipeg police officers started patrolling Winnipeg Transit buses. Ottawa is fast-tracking the path to permanent residence in Canada for foreign-trained physicians. It's part of a push to connect more doctors with patients at a time when nearly 6 million Canadians don't have access to primary care. CTV's Mike Le Couture looks into who qualifies and how quickly they can get to work.
Here I am again, daily, looking for a doctor.
It's a frustrating routine for Joan Alexander. After donating a kidney 8 years ago, she needs regular doctor supervision. But she hasn't been able to find one since moving to Ottawa 4 months ago.
My biggest fear is that we will need some emergency care, and then that will be our only resource to go to an emergency room.
In an effort to bolster the number of doctors in this country, the federal government is opening a new system to fast-track permanent residency for doctors who are working in Canada.
Many of these doctors are already treating patients in our communities. We cannot afford to lose them.
The program creates an express entry category for international doctors with at least 1 year Canadian experience in an eligible occupation. The federal government is reserving 5,000 spots for provincially nominated doctors, and those healthcare workers will get expedited 14-day work permit processing. The measures come as a major national survey shows more Canadians have a family doctor or nurse practitioner compared to 3 years ago. 5.9 million Canadians still don't have primary care, but those that do struggle with getting a timely or urgent appointment.
Less than 50% reported being able to get that. So we still have a long way to go in terms of providing timely care and care when people need it, even for those who do have a family doctor.
Now to a dramatic video of a dangerous joyride through the Regent area last week. Take a look at this. Footage captured by dash cam Friday afternoon around Legimadière, just past Regent Avenue. A truck swerves across the southbound lanes and then rolls over on the median. But that's not the end of it. The truck then manages to drive away in pretty rough condition. Winnipeg police tell us it was later found abandoned on Panet Road. RCMP confirmed the truck was stolen earlier that day from a business in the RM of St. Clements. Both police agencies say they're not aware of any injuries and no arrests have been made, though the investigation is ongoing. Bombardier is launching a new high-speed luxury jet.
So this is the fastest airplane that exists on Earth right now, built here in Toronto. We should be very proud of that.
This is the Global 8000 aircraft. The new high-speed business jet has a range of 8,000 nautical miles. Waste management billionaire Patrick Vaudigi has become the first buyer of the aircraft. Bombardier's CEO sat down with CTV to talk about its potential work with Saab to build a fighter jet that could create 10,000 Canadian jobs.
Yeah, I think when they say 10,000, they probably also look at the whole maintenance after and support and service. You know, the reality is those planes will be built. You know, we'll need X thousands of people probably to build it with the supply chain.
So the number, is it realistic or is it?
I don't know. I haven't checked their number, you know, but they came up. But I'm assuming that it's also including the all aftermarket and support for the next 30 years.
Saab's Gripen is one possible option to replace Canada's aging fighter jets. A popular Winnipeg concert and cultural venue has announced the cash crunch it was facing has eased. Early last week, the West End Cultural Centre announced it needed to raise $50,000 by the end of the year to pay off bills and keep staff in place. In a news release yesterday, the centre announced it has raised nearly $70,000 in donations. The centre says that support puts their short-term financial health in a better state and represents a 500% increase in annual donations. The release goes on to say the long-term goal for the centre is to develop a foundation of donors to better maintain long-term sustainability. And some road closures to remind you about this morning. The northbound curb lane on Colony will be closed between Portage and Webb. The eastbound median lane is closed on Mayfair from Harkness to Queen Elizabeth Way. And then following the rush, the westbound curb and median lanes will be closed on St. Mary Avenue between Carlton and Memorial. If you have any other traffic tips to share, please text them to us at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by the Children's Rehabilitation Foundation.
And looking now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. You can see here at Portage Main, most of that snow gone from the streets themselves, although it is stacking up on the sidewalks. That's not the case everywhere. There are a few places, though, where that snow is actually sticking to the streets, so just keep that in mind for your commute. It's going to continue falling throughout the day today. In fact, we'll probably see it increasing through the afternoon because it kind of tapered off in these early morning hours. It's more foggy at the moment, but that too could affect your drive. So lots of things to keep in mind for this morning. Minus 12 is where we're sitting right now with similar temperatures all through southern Manitoba, and that is actually above seasonal. Normal lows would be around minus 19, so we're considerably above that. However, it's feeling a little bit colder. We'll talk about wind chills in just a moment. Moving up through northern Manitoba, and you can see the temperatures themselves are considerably colder, pushing now into the low minus 20s, and that's before we're factoring in any sort of a wind. With that wind, you're pushing up into those low minus 30s all across northern Manitoba for a wind chill value. Here it's feeling more like minus 19. That would be a seasonal low temperature. We've got some minus 20 wind chills just off to the west of us. That breeze isn't exceptionally strong, but just enough to kind of add a bit more of a bite. Here's a look at the satellite image, and you can see all of the activity coming in from the west, and they're already showing up through southwestern Manitoba. I mentioned it's mostly just foggy right now, but it's not far off, and we will see more of that snow developing through the day. So certainly by midday and into the afternoon, expect some of those flurries. As kids settle into the classroom, minus 12, minus 10 through the lunch hour, and minus 8 by the time they're coming home, with minus 7 being our expected high for today. That's just a couple degrees above the seasonal high of minus 9. Tomorrow, we're actually going to be dropping through the afternoon, so it might not be that cold first thing in the morning, but by tomorrow afternoon, those temperatures will have fallen. Snow will have also fallen into the morning hours, but tapering off into the afternoon. After that, it will remain a little cool through the rest of the week. Getting ready for Santa's sleigh, perhaps? I don't know. It kind of looks like Rudolph out there. Thank you very much to Darren for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg weather for CTV.ca. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Hey ho, the Festival du Voyageur is getting ready for another year, and we want you to go. Toe-tapping music, snow sculptures, treats, and more highlight the annual festival. And what better stocking stuffer than some tickets? Your Morning Winnipeg has a family pass for 4 to give away this week. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and don't forget to enter the keyword fiddle. Good luck. A new study finds kids who spend excessive time on devices are at higher risk of developing problems like anxiety and even aggression later in life. And now with the holiday season arriving, parents are getting creative to get their kids to look up from their screens. ABC's Janae Norman reports.
This holiday season, families are gathering together, but they may have to share quality time with tablets, phones, and video games. It's an issue even Woody and Buzz in the upcoming Toy Story 5 have to contend with.
Hi there, I'm Lilypad. Let's play.
Our adolescent years are such high impact years for brain development. The idea that technology can be interrupting that development is really concerning to me.
Now, adults across the country are finding creative ways to solve the issue, from some reportedly spending as much as $8,000 on camps to detox kids from their devices, to others tackling the problem themselves.
Turn the screens off. Right, turn the ball.
Former NFL cornerback Chimdi Chekwa and his wife Sia are encouraging more outdoor play for their kids, but in the cold winter months, keeping kids busy can be a challenge.
They find plenty of things to do, and then we like to do things together. Like they love to dance, so we'll play music and dance around the house, or they love to play games. They're really competitive in that nature.
And for many, like San Francisco mom Susan Rosenthal, packing the calendar for her daughter can feel like a full-time job.
We had to schedule every minute of the day because, or else she would be bored and there will be consequences for us.
Rosenthal partnered with other parents to create the Dex Learning Camera, a device which aims to teach kids new languages. Hola! Hoping to emphasize learning as well as play, in part to cut down on excess screen time.
For me, the peace of mind that she's doing something that I feel is more educational and is different and more interactive than, what is currently screen time.
Ultimately, increased screen time is here to stay, but experts say it's all about moderation and creating a plan, like establishing screen-free times, like during meals or before bed, and encouraging offline activity like arts and crafts, even imaginative play.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
It's minus 12 outside this morning, which is mild compared to normal low temperatures. In fact, our wind chill value of minus 18 is still keeping us above a seasonal low of minus 19. The winds are light right now. Moderate anyway. 12 clicks out of the south-southeast. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 91%. Those lines, that's indicating the fog out there. That's what the icon looks like when we're talking about fog now. And we're not seeing the snow just yet. we certainly saw some. You're going to notice a nice fresh dusting out there, and if you were parked outside, you'll have to sweep it off your car. But it has tapered off for the most part. Not the case here through southwestern Manitoba, and that is tracking further to the east, so we will likely see more of that developing as the day goes on. So a little bit more snow expected. Temperatures will be on the rise, though. We're starting out quite mild at -12 and headed to a high of -7, -9. That's actually a normal daytime high, so we'll be surpassing seasonal temperatures for today, but perhaps only for today. Dropping down to about -16 overnight. Actually, I think that should say -12, so we'll just skip ahead to the next one, because -16 is where we're going to fall to throughout the day tomorrow. It'll actually be milder first thing in the morning and then continue to cool off through the afternoon. There will be more snow overnight and into tomorrow morning, and then that snow tapers off. We might even start to see a few more breaks in those clouds as it continues to clear throughout this week, though, and we will see more sunshine. We're also going to get some colder temperatures, and that'll be settling in as we look toward the end of the week and the weekend, and then maybe even another round of snow as we're wrapping up the weekend itself.
The Manitoba Métis Federation is taking the provincial and federal governments to court, saying both are liable for harm caused by the 60 scoop.
Never has the government of Canada sat down and negotiated properly and truly, honestly, with the Red River Métis. So we decided we can't wait no longer.
The court filings claim thousands of Métis children were removed from their homes between the 1930s and 90s and placed with non-Indigenous families. It says this was done due to government assimilation policies, provincial child welfare legislation, and other factors, which inflicted significant harm. In 2017, the federal government reached a settlement with First Nations 60 scoop survivors. However, MMF President David Chartrand says a settlement has never been negotiated with the Red River Métis.
So justice is one we will seek, and of course there's compensation are being given to others, and why the Red River Métis are being left out is insulting in this country.
In an email, Crown Indigenous Relations Canada says it is aware of the lawsuit. It adds because litigation is ongoing, it would be inappropriate to comment further. The province declined to comment. None of the claims have been tested in court. It's another day of uncertainty for Air Transat passengers, with pilots ready to walk off the job tomorrow.
A little bit nervous, but I'm hoping everything will be okay and we'll be home next Monday.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's not really much we can do about it.
The airline is preparing to wind down operations ahead of the possible strike. It had said it would be suspending all service today. However, that has not happened yet. 6 flights have been canceled so far. Negotiations between the two sides started nearly 1 year ago. The pilots want better pay, better working conditions, and job security. The Airline Pilots Association represents 700 Air Transat pilots. They released a statement. It says, quote, while some progress has been made, there is still work to do. We're working tirelessly to reach an agreement that achieves the collective priorities of our group. Air Transat says it has offered its pilots wage increases of 59% over the next 5 years, saying in statement, quote, the union's demands are considered unreasonable and its premature actions carry serious consequences for customers, the company, and its 4,300 other employees. Window strikes are deadly to birds and disturbing to residents, but City Council is considering scrapping a bylaw which requires bird-friendly measures on windows in some developments. CTV's Harrison Shin explains why an expert in bird migration is calling this proposal a step backward.
A year-old bylaw aimed at reducing window strikes by birds is being reviewed in response to concerns by developers, and an expert in bird migration calls it a surprise move.
The bylaw was only implemented about a year or so ago, so it hasn't really had its chance to do its work yet for migratory birds, thousands of which are passing through our city every spring and fall on migration.
The city is now proposing to take out bird-friendly window requirements from the, quote, malls and corridors plant development overlay after hearing from developers that the measure has made it difficult for them to source materials and keep down costs.
The cost increase is not insignificant for for a mid to larger multifamily project. You're talking in the hundreds of thousands of dollars in terms of increased cost just on the windows alone.
McInnes says windows are specialized, requiring etching or coating, which are special orders. He points out that there are other factors that lead to window strikes, such as lighting, shade, and wind patterns. But for Fraser, this seems to be a step backward.
One really good estimate suggested that 25 million birds die with windows every single year in Canada. So while that sounds like a really awful number, it seems like something that we can readily solve. We know what we need to do to windows to make them more friendly for birds.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
City Council will hear the proposal next Thursday, December 18th. It will also review minimum ground floor height for non-residential buildings. Going forward, getting into MPI's driver training program won't be like landing tickets for a popular concert. Registering for the Driver's Z program was on a first-come, first-served basis. Now students need to sign up at an MPI service center or broker by January 3rd. Then they'll get an email telling them when and how to register, with older students getting earlier registration windows. MPI says the idea is to take the stress off parents and students. $75 million. Can you imagine? It's up for grabs in tonight's Lotto Max draw. Yeah, it's a big one. The jackpot has been climbing since October 28th, reaching a high that hasn't been seen since the summer. There are also 12 prizes of $1 million in tonight's draw. Whew, that'd be nice. Taking a look now at the current traffic situation along the Norwood Bridge. It looks like things are still pretty smooth over here. No issues to tell you about at this point. If you see problems out there, let us know, please. And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average stands at $1.27. The provincial average is lower at $1.16. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.14. And the lowest price in the city is $1.07. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Coming up, we're live at Harvest Manitoba this morning. We're going to find out about their Voices report and why the need is so great, what you could do to support them. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
All right, so I'm not seeing a lot of snow falling right now. I mean, I see like a flake every now and then. It is a little bit foggy, and you're going to notice the fresh dusting of the snow that fell throughout the afternoon yesterday and continued to fall overnight. So if you were parked outside, an extra minute or two to sweep off the car, and then maybe an extra minute to navigate your drive too, because visibility might be somewhat reduced with the fog that we're waking up to this morning. -12 is where we're sitting right now, which is pleasant for this time of year. -19 would be a normal low, and even our wind chill value is slightly above that. We've got a bit of a breeze though. It's 12 kilometers per hour out of the south-southeast, with the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 91%. Now, I mentioned I've been standing out here and I've seen all of 1, now 2, 3 snowflakes. But we will likely see that activity picking up throughout the afternoon. It's certainly more active in southwestern Manitoba, and that whole system will be tracking further to the east. So expect to see more of the white stuff today. And once it does pick up again, it'll continue through the afternoon, overnight, and maybe still falling tomorrow morning. Also falling tomorrow afternoon will be the temperatures, so enjoy the milder day today. Out on location, we've got Ainsley McPhail. Let's check in and see what's going on. Hey, Ainsley.
Hi, Terry. Good morning. We're at Harvest Manitoba. A little quiet right now, but that is sure to pick up. Manager of Advocacy and Education, Allison Kolinchuk joins me. And they just released the Voices report, Allison. How is this data gathered?
So this report, even though it's released in December, the process actually begins in the springtime. So we have a team of staff and students in the summer months. We get nursing students, social work students, U of W inner city studies students in the summertime, so it's a great place to start. We begin with researching, so we look at news in the past year, we look at reports that have been released in the past year to gather information about the context of the issues going on. And then the biggest part of the report is actually going out there, boots on the ground, to talk to food bank clients. So we'll make a few dozen visits throughout the summer months to our network of food banks and talk with clients and have them fill out a survey. The survey itself is 62 questions, so it's a little bit lengthy. What I find helps, though, is actually sitting down with clients and talking with them and going through the survey with them. That's also a great way to get to know the people who use food banks. So we do researching, we do surveying in person, also on the telephone and online. And then after that, when the survey closes in, let's say, end of September, then we begin with the the funnest part with writing. I enjoy writing, so I think it's fun. We write the report during October, and then November is when edits happen, and then here we go, December gets released.
What did you find?
I found that overall, we see similar trends, but also changing trends. This year's report was kind of an overview of the past 5 years. We've been writing Harvest Voices for 5 years now, and we find that overall main themes persist. For example, cost of living is always a factor. Welfare, so EIA rates, disability rates, low minimum wages are impacting working people. But there are changing trends too. For example, this year we found that the average family size has gone up from 2 to 3 people. There's now many more people over the past 5 years who are highly educated, so that means post-secondary schooling. And yeah.
Allison, thank you so much. It's really hard to break down data in just 2.5 minutes. You did such a great job. We've got more coming up after this short break.
Looking at the early markets, the Dow Jones is slightly up. The Nasdaq and S&P index are flat. The loonie is up at 72.20 cents U.S. The Hang Seng is down 331 points, and the Nikkei is up 73 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. A plan to mail out parking tickets based on citizen-submitted photos might not be happening. Winnipeg's Parking Authority wanted to explore a photo-based public reporting system, but a committee of city councillors shot down the idea in a 2-to-1 vote. CTV's Jeff Kill explains.
The Winnipeg Parking Authority might not explore a plan to issue parking tickets based on citizen photos alone.
I'm going to try and kill it today. We'll let them make their case.
In a 2-1 vote, the Public Works Committee voted down the plan.
And I'm moving this motion because of the way everything involved. It's been a great learning experience. I don't think we're quite ready to explore right now.
The Parking Authority wanted to look into a system where enforcement officers could examine photos of parking violations sent in by the public and then mail out tickets based on the picture only. They told the committee right now thousands of photos of violations are sent to the city every year, but in half the cases, by the time an enforcement officer physically checks out the situation, the vehicle is gone. So this could be a way to better use resources and deter people from parking illegally.
We do an excellent job that we get out there really fast, but if 53% of the time there's no vehicle there or no infraction, that's not very effective use of resources.
The committee heard there is software that can detect when a photo is fraudulent, and the Parking Authority also said they were looking at specific infractions only to start, like illegally parking in a disabled spot or a fire zone. But some had concerns this could lead to conflicts between the person snapping the photo and the vehicle owner.
Are we going to be able to get out of that without an altercation taking place? That's really the questions I have with it, and why would we want to encourage our citizens to do that?
It's a weird world out there right now. There's a lot of weird things going on, so it wouldn't surprise me, and I think just for now, I think we just not worry about it.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Public Work Committee Chair Janice Luke says the motion is for next year, but looking at this down the road was not ruled out. Manitoba's Premier is preparing to present his third State of the Province address. Wab Kinew will take center stage today to share his government's accomplishments and present his vision for the next few years. The yearly event is typically attended by business and community leaders. The event is scheduled for 11 a.m. at the RBC Convention Centre. Police in the Greater Toronto Area have laid more than 150 charges against more than a dozen alleged members of an organized criminal network for a string of violent incidents across Ontario and Quebec.
These acts were brazen, they were brutal, and they're completely unacceptable. When it comes to committing violence, these suspects certainly did not discriminate.
Project Wrangler is a sweeping joint investigation by multiple police services and has led to 13 arrests. This footage shows the type of violence the suspects are accused of, including jewelry store and cell phone store smash and grabs and shootings, as well as armed carjackings and home invasions. A meeting of G7 industry, digital and technology ministers is set to wrap up in Montreal today after new digital agreements were made with Europe.
It is a collaboration on digital sovereignty, which is the singularly most significant geopolitical issue facing us in this area.
An agreement with Germany was made to increase collaboration on AI, quantum technology, and infrastructure. Canada also signed 2 agreements with the EU, one focusing on adoption and responsible development of AI, and the other on cooperation on digital credentials. It was a gaggle of golden retrievers in Buenos Aires as thousands of pet owners tried to break a world record. The event, called the Golden Wave, aimed to break the record for the largest number of dogs of the same breed gathered in a single location. Officials still need to verify the results. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. The northbound curb lane on Colony will be closed between Portage and Webb. The eastbound median lane is closed on Mayfair from Harkness to Queen Elizabeth Way. And then following the rush, the westbound curb and median lanes will be closed on St. Mary Ave between Carlton and Memorial. If you have any other traffic tips, please let us know.
Outside right now, you can see the snow piling up on the sidewalks. Not so bad on the streets at this point, but just keep in mind that could change. We are expecting to see more of the white stuff. It's a mild start to your morning, though. At -12, we are above seasonal. A little bit of fog out there with a bit of a breeze, a 12K wind out of the south-southeast. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 91%. And yes, we are likely to see more of that snow right now through southwestern Manitoba. You can see how active things are looking on our satellite image. Less active here in the southeast, but as it's tracking further to the east, we'll find ourselves in the path of that, and we'll likely see that snow then developing later on today. For parts of northern Manitoba, you too will be seeing it, although further up into the northern part, you might actually see or have the best chance of seeing some sunshine today. In around the Churchill area, things will be looking a little bit brighter. For everybody else, though, heavier clouds expected, and yes, probably some precipitation as well. Flurries falling right up into northern Manitoba, low 20s in the most northern stretch, mid-teens through more of north central and southern Manitoba. We're looking at more seasonal temperatures here in the southwest, just a couple degrees cooler than what we're expecting in the southeastern side. In fact, parts of southeastern Manitoba hitting around 7 degrees or so will be slightly above seasonal, not by much, -9. What you're expecting off to the west is in fact normal for this time of year. And yes, heavier clouds hanging around, slight bit of a breeze, and then more of that snow picking up later on this afternoon. Further to the east, not as likely to see the snow, maybe further into the Fort Frances area, but for many folks, it'll just be a cloudy day, maybe more of that precipitation moving in tonight. We'll actually have it hanging around overnight and right into tomorrow morning, and throughout the day tomorrow, temperatures dropping off. So enjoy the slightly above seasonal temps today. It will be cooling down tomorrow, and from there we're going to stay below the seasonal -9 all throughout the week, getting even colder, in fact, as we're looking toward the weekend when we might finally start to see a little bit of sunshine.
Terry, as the countdown continues toward a work stoppage at Air Transat, what's your best move if you're booked to fly? CTV's Portage Main looks at the options.
Travelers scheduled to take off aboard Air Transat are now trying to plan their next move.
I want my granddaughter to meet all my friends and, the people of Cuba.
Marlene Galliott's first trip to Cuba with her 9-month-old granddaughter is now up in the air. Her bags are packed and she has a ticket to fly out Saturday.
Should I cancel my hotel? Should we cancel the flight? Should we rebook? I have no clue.
Until a strike is actually triggered, says air passenger rights advocate Gabor Lukács, the best move is not to make a move.
Until you actually get a cancellation notice, don't do anything other than planning. Have ideas for plan B.
Air Transat says it's offering passengers flexibility. Those booked to fly from now until December 12th can't cancel for credit valid for 12 months. But once passengers cancel their own flights, the airline could legally be off the hook for any other potential compensation. Air Transat has sent notices like this one to some passengers abroad, moving up the return home for some travelers on 4 added flights. The carrier says they will be entitled to a refund for unused hotel nights, but that's only if they bought a travel package including flight and hotel through Air Transat. Lukács says passengers should not make concessions to carriers and give away legal rights.
You should not have to cut your holiday or vacation short because Air Transat may be going on strike. And what Air Transat is doing is somewhat of a scare tactic.
Galliot hopes the strike will be averted and that she will be enjoying the sunshine in Cuba soon. But all the turbulence in air travel is taking its toll.
We love traveling, but now we have to think twice before we even buy a ticket to travel.
And another piece of advice from advocates to travelers is to record conversations they have with the carrier. Portage Main, CTV News, Montreal.
Deck the halls for your chance to win. Here at Your Morning, we love the sights of the season, and we want to see how you've decorated for the holidays. You could win a $500 gift card from Red River Co-op and get a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, just fill out the form on our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca and submit some pictures. One of Canada's oldest mechanical Christmas displays is back for another season. It was commissioned right here in Winnipeg, but after traveling the country for years, the display has found a home in Saskatoon, where one volunteer makes sure families can continue to make it part of their holiday tradition. CTV's Laura Woodward explains.
This is where the magic happens, Randall Simpson's workshop. But unlike Santa, he's not building toys. He's fixing the Once Upon a Christmas display.
The majority of what you see here was built in 1946.
Originally commissioned by the Eaton's department store, built with war surplus materials and shown in Winnipeg. Over the years, it's traveled across the country until 1977, when it was consolidated at the Saskatoon Eaton store, later acquired by the Western Development Museum, where it's been a holiday fixture for 38 years.
What's interesting is you look through the original display and there's no reference to Rudolph. Because he never existed until 1947, when Burl Ives sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
One of Simpson's favorite displays is Pumpkinhead, the sad little bear, created by the same Canadian cartoonist behind Bugs Bunny.
His story is that he's got a bad hair day, and all the other bears make fun of him, but he's the only one that can wear a special hat to go with Santa on his sleigh.
Behind each little movement is a lot of mechanical work.
It's really, really simple technology. There's no electronics in this whatsoever. Everything's mechanically run.
And some of the belts are still the 80-year-old originals.
I am primarily involved in maintaining and keeping it running, because it does break down a lot.
And Simpson does all of it without any formal mechanical training.
I was raised by a father who was born on a farm and has a economic gene in him, and he instilled that with me, and so anything I can do myself I do, because I got more time than money.
And it's Simpson's dedication that keeps this Christmas tradition running. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
And of course, you can always visit the Eaton's vignettes right at our very own Children's Museum as well. All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll be right back. It's Tuesday, December 9th. Today, Portage Main. New data shows reopening the intersection has had almost no impact on drivers. Plus, Doctors Fast Track. Ottawa launches a faster path to permanent residency for internationally trained doctors. And Jets spread cheer. Players bring holiday joy to kids with an annual visit full of smiles and autographs. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Tuesday to 7 a.m. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. At 7:52, we're going to introduce you to a Manitoba hockey player. He's a goalie. He's playing in Washington right now, and he's putting on a fundraiser here in Manitoba, as well as part of it in Washington, where he's raising money for people who are struggling with mental health problems. So we're going to find out a little bit more on the campaign itself, why it's an important mission for him, as well as how things are going in Washington. We're going to find out a little bit more about his play. But the snow this morning, it's very pretty, but it could be a little slick on the streets.
Of course, keep that in mind. Yeah, give yourself some extra time this morning wherever it is that you're going, because we're dealing not just with the fresh snow, a little bit of fog out there as well, and if you happen to be parked outside, some of that fresh snow is going to be right on your windshield. You'll have to do a little dusting of that, and the hood of the car, and the top of the car, and all the parts of the car that need brushing off when you're parked outside and the snow accumulates. Anyway, it's minus 12 right now, feeling more like minus 18. There's some fog out there, as I mentioned. That's the lines that you're seeing with the conditions. South-southeast winds are light, 12 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 91%, or at least a moderate breeze. Now, as far as the conditions go, here on the satellite image, you can see all of the activity here through southwestern Manitoba. And while the snow has, for the most part, tapered off, there's a flake or two falling, but we will see, as this system creeps a little bit closer toward us, we'll see that activity developing again later on today. So even though it's not snowing much right now, it could be later on into the day. all through southern Manitoba, but parts of central Manitoba as well. Now, the best chance of seeing some sunshine might be in the most northern part of the province, up around the Churchill areas where things will be the clearest today. Most of us will deal with those clouds, and then yes, the snow that's coming in, and that snow, once it starts, could continue overnight and still fall tomorrow morning as well. Now, eventually through the afternoon tomorrow, things will start to clear out with the conditions, but as that happens, the temperature will actually be dropping off even more so, and tomorrow's going to get pretty chilly by the afternoon. Heavier clouds again are going to be back later on into the week. Now, as far as the temperatures go, today might be the one and only day we spend this week above seasonal, expecting a high of -7 when -9 is normal. I mentioned the falling temperatures tomorrow afternoon, and after that we stay below seasonal right up until the coming weekend. And thank you to Olivia today for our art, which I'm told is the fall leaves. So I wanted to show it today before it gets covered up with the snow. Thank you, Olivia, and keep the art coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Many feared the reopening of Portage Main to foot traffic back in June would add big delays to commute times, but the city says there's been almost no impact on drivers. CTV's Joseph Bernacki explains.
David Crone was one of the first people to walk across Portage Main back in June.
I crossed the morning of. I was there at 10 o'clock in the morning when they opened it up.
The executive director of Cerebral Palsy Association of Manitoba lives with a condition which limits his mobility. He says the reopening was much needed for the accessibility community.
It removes barriers. All those invisible barriers that people, if they're not using a cane or a wheelchair or walker or whatever that situation is, even just navigate through space.
Crone says on average he crosses here once a week on foot. He says he is surprised to see so few people using the crossing.
I really don't see a lot of people crossing, to be honest.
But there are people walking, an average of 3,570 people daily since September 1st, according to new data from the City of Winnipeg. As for that impact on traffic, minimal, says the city. A recent analysis of time spent in traffic for all routes shows a negligible increase from last year when the barricades were up. Mayor Scott Gillingham says that's encouraging.
There was a lot of doomsday, kind of noise that before it opened that, there would be a lot of accidents and traffic delays would be long. That just hasn't happened.
Morning travel on 2 routes was unchanged year over year. Travel time for the other 2 increased by less than a minute. Afternoon travel time on 1 route actually decreased and increased on the 3 others by 1 to 2 minutes. City Councillor Janice Lukes put forward a plebiscite motion back in 2018 where Winnipeggers voted no to opening Portage Main. She says it's a relief because city engineers had forecasted much worse.
Every traffic flow is going to be all over. It was traffic Armageddon, right? And none of that happened.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A 12 and 14-year-old girl are facing charges following a violent robbery that sent a woman to hospital. It happened November 26 in the parking lot in the 2300 block of McGillivray Boulevard. Police say a woman in her 60s was returning to her vehicle when 2 teenagers demanded her purse. When the woman refused, she was stabbed. The woman was taken to hospital in unstable condition. She's since been upgraded to stable. The 2 girls were arrested Friday in Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation by Verdun RCMP. Both are charged with robbery. The 14-year-old was detained in custody, and the 12-year-old was released on an undertaking. None of the charges have been tested in court. The Insurance Bureau of Canada says severe storms that swept through the prairies in August are estimated to have caused more than $235 million in insured damage. The storms on August 20th and 21st included golf ball-sized hail, torrential rain, strong winds, and several tornadoes in Alberta and Saskatchewan. The Insurance Bureau says the hardest hit communities included Brooks, Alberta, Radisson, Langham, and North Battleford in Saskatchewan, and Portage La Prairie here in Manitoba. It says wildfires and hailstorms this past summer caused roughly $725 million in insured damage. U.S. President Donald Trump is threatening new tariffs on another Canadian industry.
A lot of it does come in from Canada, and so we'll end up putting very severe tariffs on that if we have to.
Trump made the comments after announcing a $12 billion tariff relief fund for American farmers. The U.S. is Canada's largest fertilizer market, accounting for over half of all total exports each year. A bomb explosion has killed more than 30 people and wounded 20 others in eastern Congo. The explosion comes less than a week after a U.S. brokered peace agreement was finalized in an attempt to stop the ongoing war between the Congolese armed forces and the Rwanda-backed rebel group in the eastern part of Congo. Ottawa will give some doctors trained outside of Canada a fast track to permanent residency.
Many of these doctors are already treating patients in our communities. We cannot afford to lose them.
This express entry category is for international doctors with at least 1 year of Canadian work experience in the past 3 years. Doctors nominated will have their work permits processed within 14 days. There will be 5,000 spots available for doctors nominated by provinces and territories. This comes as a national survey shows there are almost 6 million Canadians without regular access to primary care. It was a big day for kids at the Rehabilitation Centre for Children as they got a visit from some Winnipeg Jets players.
Yeah, of course.
The NHL stars met with the kids and their families to chat, give autographs, and take photos. Assistant Captain Josh Morrissey says the meetup is an annual tradition to spread holiday cheer.
It's easy as a hockey player to get caught up in the wins and losses and, kind of the tough days of the NHL season. But, I think when you come, get to interact with some kids and families that are oftentimes going through, life-changing and very difficult situations, and they have a smile on their face, they're optimistic and, just looking forward to the little things in life. I think that puts into perspective, wins and losses.
Jets players also visited kids at the Children's Hospital. Lots of smiles in that room indeed. Well, here's a look at what's happening now at Confusion Corner. It looks like things are picking up over here, but overall moving quite well. The roads could be a little slick in some sections, so please give yourself some extra stopping distance.
Microsoft says it will build 2 regional data centers in Canada in a promise to uphold digital sovereignty here. It will spend $7.5 billion over the next 2 years, but could face challenges as Canada reassesses its deal with U.S. tech giants while the relationship with U.S. President Donald Trump is strained. Ottawa has pushed for more homegrown data centers in its push for digital independence. NVIDIA has received clearance from U.S. President Donald Trump to export its advanced artificial intelligence chips to China. In a Truth Social post late Monday, Trump said the U.S. will allow NVIDIA to ship its H200 products to approved customers in China and other countries. But China's regulators are discussing ways to limit permits for the chips, according to the Financial Times, citing 2 people familiar with the matter. And another twist, an Ontario man and a second man are being held for allegedly trying to smuggle $160 million U.S. worth of chips into China. Ben Lin Wan could be charged under U.S. export control laws. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, let's go to Ainsley McPhail now, who is at Harvest, Manitoba this morning. It's always busy there, but especially during the holidays. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. They just released their Voices report, and when you hear data like this, it's certainly heavy on the heart. 62% of families surveyed go hungry once a month or more. They interviewed 600 Manitobans within our community, and we want to know what they're doing with the data, and they're going to tell us coming up at 7:27 with the president and CEO, Vince Barletta. Post-secondary education, people who have some form of that, they went from 33% to 61%. As I mentioned, they're seeing more families with children above the age of 18. That has climbed from about 30% to 61%. So these numbers are staggering. The food bank itself is seeing 60,000 people, and that doubles when we're looking at all of the other agencies that they're serving through. So when you do donate, this is where it's going.
It goes a long way. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. And today's going to be the mildest day of the week.
Yes, it is. So we have that to look forward to. It's already quite pleasant out here. We're waking up to some fresh snow, and a little bit more has actually started to fall earlier on. Last time I was out here about 20 minutes ago, I was like, oh, there's a flake, there's 2 flakes. I'm going to call this it's very light, but it is a light snowfall right now. So it is quite pleasant out here, and it's looking so pretty and fresh as well. -11 is where our temperature sits, which is up from last hour and remains well above seasonal low temperatures that would have us sitting at around -19. Now, it feels closer to that if you're factoring in the winds, but even the winds, not that strong anyway, or maybe I'm just sheltered from them up here on the rooftop. An 18K wind right now out of the south, with the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 91%. A little bit of fresh snow. We'll probably see this kind of intensifying a little bit more so into the afternoon. It's certainly far more active through southwestern Manitoba, and we'll have that whole system rolling over southern Manitoba. Even parts of central Manitoba will likely see some of those flurries. Best chance of seeing the sunshine will actually be in the far northeastern part of the province, up around the Churchill areas, where things will be the clearest for today. And we'll eventually start to see some of that clearing by later into the day tomorrow. But also later in the day tomorrow, it's going to get pretty darn cold. We'll have the snow falling through the day, overnight, and tomorrow morning. And then as it clears, tomorrow's temperatures dropping off. So today will be the mildest of what will last throughout the rest of the week.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now for our question of the day. We want to know, what's your favorite book genre? You can text your answer along with your name to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions have been amazing. We want to see more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way, please. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. A little bit of a dusting of snow on the streets this morning as you head out. Be mindful of that. We'll be right back after this break.
When you give a child a winter coat, you're giving a child the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside. When you give a child a winter coat, you're giving them the freedom to create warm winter memories, because no child should be freezing cold. Kids should be able to go outside and have fun. Donate to Coats for Kids. Drop off new or gently used winter wear at these participating businesses. Proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
Good morning. A veteran Winnipeg police officer who took and shared a photo of a dead woman while on duty is off the force. Police Chief Gene Bowers says Elston Bostock, who was previously suspended without pay, is no longer a service member. Last month, Bostock pleaded guilty to several offenses, including causing indignity to human remains. The 22-year member of the service has not yet been sentenced and still faces other charges. The Winnipeg Police Service is asking for the public's help in locating a person missing since July of this year. Police say 49-year-old Millicent Powell was last seen July 18th in the area of Elma, Manitoba. Powell is described as being 5'7" with a medium build, black and gray hair and brown eyes. Winnipeg police ask anyone with information regarding the whereabouts of Millicent Powell to contact the Missing Persons Unit at 204-986-6250 or Crime Stoppers. Winnipeg Transit is presenting its budget proposals to city councillors, and officials say this year transit didn't pull in as much money as expected. In 2024, Winnipeg Transit managed to restore ridership to 95% of pre-pandemic numbers. But this past year, the number dropped to 89%, a dip of about 6 percentage points. Part of the decline was anticipated due to the changes rolled out this summer. However, Winnipeg Transit says the numbers started falling at the end of last year before the new routes went into effect, and they don't know why.
One system that I talk to a lot is called WMATA in Washington, D.C. And they have seen the exact same thing as well. They launched a major network change exactly on the same day we did, and they saw the same thing where they've seen a bit of a decline in ridership since the launch, similar to what we have, but they also saw that decline starting late last year, and they also don't know why.
Public Works Committee Chair Janice Luke suspects safety concerns could be a factor. This fall, Winnipeg police officers started patrolling Winnipeg Transit buses. Here's what's happening now at Keniston and Sterling Lion Way. It looks like things are moving quite well starting off this Tuesday morning. If you have any traffic tips or if you see problems out there, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Now for some entertainment news, a small town theater got quite the surprise when a trio of Hollywood actors stopped by to catch a movie. John Hamm, Johnny Pemberton, and Paul Walter Hauser popped into Flick Cinema in Stonewall Sunday night. Staff at the theater say the three were happy to take pictures and chat with other patrons, and the actors expressed their appreciation for small town movie theaters. If you're wondering what flick caught their interest, staff tells CTV News the stars were there to see a showing of The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell. Hamm is in Manitoba filming a new TV series called American Hostage. The Queen of Christmas is in Sin City. Mariah Carey is celebrating the holidays in Vegas. Her Christmas residency is officially underway at Park MGM. It runs until December 13th. The 15th anniversary edition of Merry Christmas to You is also out now. Kylie Minogue is getting into the festive spirit. The pop star released the official music video for her single Office Party. It's one of the songs off her deluxe re-released Christmas album called Fully Wrapped. The album includes a mix of original tracks and holiday covers. Your primetime lineup starts at 7 with E-Talk and The Big Bang Theory. MasterChef Canada is on at 8. At 9, catch The Traders Canada. And The Weakest Link wraps things up at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
Terry driving out of the garage this morning. My husband's car outside, mine inside. No snow to clear off. He had a good chunk of snow. I was really excited that I didn't have to worry about that today.
That's why you've got primo parking in the garage. Yes. Even if it was your car parked outside, you should probably make him rally and get outside there and dust it off.
Yes.
That's husband's work. All right, here's a look outside right now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Not as much snow on the streets themselves, but certainly on the sidewalks. In fact, I was even wondering about the footwear that I wore. I kind of wore a street boot, and I'm wondering if I shouldn't have brought a snow boot, and I'll probably be changing that up for tomorrow because the snow is going to continue to fall through the day today and still into tomorrow morning, and there's already a couple of centimeters out there from yesterday's snowfall. So yeah, it is starting to stack up a little bit. As temperatures go, it's a beautiful start to your morning. We're sitting at -11 right now in Winnipeg, -12s or -11s. Oh, we've got a -10 there in Gimli, but very similar temperatures all through southern Manitoba, and similarly well above seasonal because -19 is in fact a normal low for this time of year. It does get a little bit colder looking across parts of northern Manitoba. We're moving now into those low -20s. Heavier clouds right up into the northwest, but the northeast, things are actually going to be looking a little bit clearer today, but clearer sometimes means colder. You've got the wind chill values pushing you into the low -30s across the most northern stretch. Here, with the winds factored in, it's feeling closer to those seasonal temps, -19, but that's only with the wind chill value considered. As far as the conditions go, yes, we are starting to see a little of that snow developing again. Still, you can see how much heavier and more active it is through the southwestern part of the province and how much clearer it is up in the most northeastern part of the province. -10 as kids get settled into the classroom, -9 through the lunch hour. -7, that's our expected high for later on today, and that is slightly above seasonal with things looking a little more active with the snowfall through the afternoon, overnight, and tomorrow morning. But by tomorrow afternoon, those temperatures will be dropping, and there we remain below seasonal as we look through the rest of the week. And our weather picture is all thanks to Darren out in Victoria Beach. Thank you for this shot, and keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Terry. Deck the halls for your chance to win and be featured on Your Morning Winnipeg. Here at Your Morning, we love the sights of the season, and we want to see how you've decorated for the holidays. All those nutcrackers, lights, and trees could help you win a $500 gift card from Red River Co-op and have the chance to show off your holiday house live on Your Morning Winnipeg with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca, fill out the form, and submit some pictures. Good luck. Canadians Martin Short, Catherine O'Hara, Maggie Kang, and Domi Shai are some of the nominees for the 83rd Annual Golden Globes. CTV's Andrea Case has more on who is in the running and who was left out.
Find my daughter.
Well, then call us back when you have the time.
They call it Golden Globe morning, and for some, it was a good morning. Leonardo DiCaprio's latest, One Battle After Another, continues to win critics over, if not the box office. In close second, Ryan Coogler's Sinners picked up 7 nominations, including 2 for Coogler himself. himself and one for actor Michael B. Jordan. He should have received 2. After all, he plays twins. Film critic Richard Krause says there is one big snub in the film category, the musical Wicked for Good. It received 5 nominations, including 2 for its lead actresses, and it also received a nod in the relatively new category, Cinematic and Box Office Achievement.
If you look further along down in the list, there's no John Chu for director. There are a lot of snubs, so there's no joy in the Wicked household, I don't think, this morning.
The Globes are voted on by a group of close to 400 members of international film critics known as the Hollywood Foreign Press. This year, unlike in the past, a number of foreign language films made the cut. The global phenomenon K-pop Demon Hunters snagged 3 nominations, including, no surprise here, Best Song from a Motion Picture, Golden. In the television category, The White Lotus, The Pit, and the British teen crime drama Adolescence received multiple nominations. And with approximately 115 million people tuning into a podcast each week, the Globes have added, for the first time, a new category, Best Podcast.
Where's Joe Rogan? You know, if you're thinking about podcasts that have sort of defined what podcasts are, Joe Rogan, where's Mark Maron? He just recently wrapped up his podcast after 16 years, and he is considered to be kind of the godfather, the grandfather of the podcast genre.
Comedian Nikki Glaser will roast or make that host the 83rd annual Golden Globes, launching award season into full swing on January 11th. Andrea Case, CTV News.
Coming up, we're live at Harvest, Manitoba this morning. We're going to hear a little bit more about the Voices report they've just released and what it all means. Stay with us. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live with Harvest, Manitoba this morning. Their Voices report has recently come out, and the numbers are pretty serious. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. The numbers, of course, are staggering. Food bank use in the country is at an all-time high. Vince Barletta joins me now. He's the president and CEO. Vince, did these numbers surprise you?
Well, they don't surprise us here at Harvest. I mean, we've been seeing record numbers for years now. Here, as we get into the Christmas season, we're seeing as much as 60,000 Manitobans every month going to a food bank somewhere across our province. More than 2 million Canadians going to a food bank somewhere across this great country of ours. So these are record numbers. They continue to go up and up and up. So for those of us who do the work every day, it's not a big surprise.
And more specifically, so many families.
More families. We just released, of course, our Harvest Voices report in recent days. We survey folks that visit food banks all across the province. We're seeing more families. We're seeing more children. We're seeing more people with jobs and younger families and more educated visiting a food bank as well. So we've seen a real shift demographically over these past few years, but there still is hope in all of that here at Harvest.
It sounds like poverty has hit every corner of our province. You mentioned those with post-secondary education as well.
Well, people with post-secondary education, certainly, you know, at one time, I think people felt that a post-secondary education was a pathway to a sure job. That's no longer the case in many parts of our country, including here in Winnipeg. And, you know, that issue is widespread. It's in the city, it's in the suburbs, it's in rural Manitoba, and it's in the north. But you know what, Ainsley, you know, in spite of the challenges we've seen, there is still reason for hope, including incredible programs like our warehouse training program. Over 100 people every year that are able to go through our program and get into employment that gets them out of the need for food banks. So there's always hope.
And during the holidays, you're looking quite festive today yourself. People are feeling extra generous. But the thing is, too, with the months to come, there's still a need.
There's still a big need. We run, of course, our Hunger Doesn't Take a Holiday campaign every holiday season, as we're in right now, encouraging Manitobans who can, if you and your family is doing okay and you have a little bit of extra to give back, certainly Harvest Manitoba could use it. The funds that we raise during this month really sustain us throughout the year ahead. So it's incredibly important. And, you know, like I say, Hunger Doesn't Take a Holiday. We're as busy as ever here in our workshop, our warehouse, our hope shop, as I like to call it, Ainsley, over the holidays. And in an hour or two, it's going to be full of volunteers doing incredible work.
Thank you, Vince. Coming up at 7:42, we're learning what Harvest Manitoba does with the data and who they advocate for.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Hey, we saw some snow overnight and we're going to get more.
I know, and it's looking so pretty. I'm actually really excited about this. I came back from vacation. I was like, oh, it's cold. And it only took me a day to actually get really excited. My walk home was so beautiful. I pulled out the parka. I was properly dressed for it. And I recommend just embracing the season, really get those layers out and make sure that you're properly bundled. Because if you are, it's really quite a pleasant start to your day. It's -11 right now, which is actually technically above seasonal. Our wind chill value of -19, that would actually be a normal low temperature, but we're well above that this morning. A bit of a breeze this morning is out of the south, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 91%. Now, today might be the mildest of what we're going to experience throughout the rest of this week. It will be getting colder yet and snowier too. We're seeing a few flakes this morning, but things are far more active here on the satellite image, and that whole system is tracking further to the east, and we'll find ourselves seeing more of that flurry activity developing throughout the day today. So expect to see more of the white stuff. We're seeing a little bit of it now, but that will be accumulating because it's going to continue through the day today, or once more so into the afternoon. -7 is where we're headed though, and that will keep us above seasonal. When -9 is a normal daytime high, we're going to climb at least a couple degrees above that. And then overnight dropping down to about -12 compared to a seasonal low of -19. We're still doing okay with those temperatures. It will continue to snow throughout the overnight hours and maybe right into tomorrow morning. And while tomorrow morning we might not be quite this cold, this is where we'll end up by the afternoon. The mercury will not be on the rise tomorrow as it typically tends to. Instead, it'll be dropping through the afternoon and getting us settled right into the deep freeze with below seasonal temperatures than expected. Even colder for the weekend itself. -21 for our daytime high, and maybe another round of snow as we're wrapping up the weekend Sunday.
Thank you, Terry. A city committee has shot down an idea to explore a photo-based public reporting parking system.
And I'm moving this motion because of the way everything involved. It's been a great learning experience. I don't think we're quite ready to explore right now.
The Winnipeg Parking Authority wanted to explore a system where enforcement officers could examine photos of parking violations sent in by the public and then mail out tickets based on the picture only. They claimed it would be a better way to use resources and deter people from parking illegally. The committee heard there is software that can detect when a photo is fraudulent, while the Parking Authority said they would only be looking at specific infractions like illegally parking in a disabled spot or a fire zone. Some had concerns it could lead to conflicts.
Are we going to be able to get out of that without an altercation taking place? That's really the questions I have with it, and why would we want to encourage our citizens to do that?
While the Citizen Reporting Initiative motion was defeated, looking at this down the road was not ruled out. Winnipeg firefighters are sounding the alarm over the city's proposed budget. It includes a plan to hire 40 firefighters over 4 years, with 10 joining the service next year. But the union says it falls well short of the service's request to hire all 40 firefighters in 2026. Union President Nick Casper says the city will end up paying more in overtime costs than it would to simply hire more firefighters.
We're hoping that they apply some common sense in this budget, and instead of waiting till the end of the year and wasting $10 million in overtime, that all that we're asking to accelerate the hiring and double the number of hires this year would only cost between $300,000 and $400,000. You know, we're talking about pennies on the dollar here, and right now this budget robs Peter to pay Paul.
Casper says more than 99% of the union's members voted against the proposed budget in an internal non-confidence vote. The union's call to hire more firefighters is set to be discussed at the Executive Policy Committee meeting this Friday. Then the proposed budget is set to go to a final vote on Council on December 17th. The Liberals are expected to vote against a Conservative motion to support a new pipeline today.
The Prime Minister claims to have changed his mind in a recent MOU. So will he be able to change the minds of fellow Liberals and vote for his own MOU and allow a pipeline to the Pacific?
The Conservatives plan to put forward the non-binding motion today. It will call for support for one or more pipelines to export at least 1 million barrels of bitumen a day from Alberta to the BC coast. The motion is intended to mirror the wording of Ottawa's energy deal with Alberta. But a source tells CTV News the motion also ignores other critical areas of the Memorandum of Understanding, like climate requirements and First Nations co-ownership. That's why the Liberals plan to vote against it. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with Pope Leo at the Vatican this morning.
Thank you very much.
President Zelensky thanked the Pope for his humanitarian support for Ukraine. Pope Leo, for his part, called on talks to keep going toward a just and lasting peace. President Zelensky yesterday met with European leaders on presenting a revised peace plan to the U.S. Ukraine maintains it will not give up any land to Russia. This new proposal could be given to the White House as early as today. 2 Russian cosmonauts and an American astronaut are safely back on Earth after spending 8 months aboard the International Space Station. The crew landed in Kazakhstan after orbiting the Earth more than 3,900 times and traveling nearly 170 million kilometers over their 245-day mission. The Soyuz MS-27 spacecraft launched and docked with the space station on April 8th. This was Russia's 73rd spacecraft in its class to launch for the station since 2000 and the 156th Soyuz mission to fly since 1967. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. The northbound curb lane on Colony will be closed between Portage and Webb. The eastbound median lane is closed on Mayfair from Harkness to Queen Elizabeth Way. Following the rush, the westbound curb and median lanes will be closed on St. Mary Avenue between Carlton and Memorial. If you see any problems out on the streets, let us know, please. And let's take a look at your gas prices. It looks like things are going down here. The Canadian average stands at $1.27. The provincial average is lower at $1.16. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.14, and the lowest price in the city is $1.07. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your car today.
Right now, we're sitting at -11 with the wind chill. Feels like -19. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back with more Your Morning Winnipeg.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
-11 outside this morning, pretty mild compared to what is normal this time of year. In fact, our wind chill value is a lot closer to those seasonal temps, sitting at -19. We've got winds out of the south, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling and the humidity is sitting at 91%. Also falling a little bit of light snow. Just a light dusting here in the southeast. It was falling through the day yesterday and overnight, so you're going to wake up to a couple centimeters of snow. You might have to brush that off your vehicle if you happen to be parked outside. But you can see far more active through southwestern Manitoba, and all of that continuing to track further to the east. Now, best chance of seeing the sunshine today will be up in the far northeastern part of the province. It will be a little bit cool, -21 your expected high in Churchill, but still the brightest chance with the sunshine expected. Other places throughout the province will deal with the heavier clouds, and the temperatures not much milder, even where those clouds are. A little bit better in the more central stretches like Island Lake around -16, or here through kind of north central Manitoba, just into the minus double digits around the Pas, mid-minus teens, or further that you go north, low -20s up around Lynn Lake. A normal daytime high here through southern Manitoba would be about -9, and we're seeing temperatures similar to that here in southwestern Manitoba. Heavier clouds, you've seen it on the satellite image, the snow that's coming down right now. That'll continue through the morning hours and maybe even into early afternoon before it tapers off. For us, it's just going to start, well, it's already started, but lightly. It'll really intensify into the afternoon and then continue overnight and through tomorrow. Our temperatures today slightly above seasonal, if only by a couple degrees, with -9 being normal for this time of year. Today will be the last of the milder temps because throughout the day tomorrow, mercury actually drops off down to about -16 by the afternoon. And from there, we're going to stay below seasonal. In fact, bundle up. We've got some much colder weather coming our way this weekend when the sunshine finally returns.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go down to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Harvest Manitoba this morning. And the need is great, and they could always use support from the community. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. Yeah, they just released the Voices report identifying the needs of our community, and we're learning now what they do with that data in order to make things better for so many Manitobans. Megan Urbis joins us to tell us all about that. So when you survey the 600 people, you find out that the need is growing. Now what?
Yeah, so we take those results. We ask that a pointed question, like what makes you have to use a food bank and what needs to stop in order for you to stop, actually. And so what I would say is we take those responses and we build our recommendations. And then we use those recommendations to have conversations with government, asking them to help support a number of different initiatives.
More specifically, what's a top 3?
Yeah, so the top three generally is the same year over year, but in different, top priorities. So the number one this year is housing. The second one is around increasing employment and income assistance rates. And then the third this year is employment and education. So folks are really looking for opportunities to have low barrier opportunities for employment and education.
Mm-hmm. And I know that Harvest provides some of those stepping stones as well. It's a fantastic place. There's also a handful of other needs that community is looking for. What are some of them?
Yeah, so there's a number of different things. I think some of the things that we've talked about in the report are opportunities for Harvest to get involved, working with government more closely, like the food security strategy. That's also listed in that report. And this year we were responsible for a lot of emergency needs around wildfires and other things. And so I think that's a really important recommendation that we have as well in the report.
Mm-hmm. And it all does have a trickle-down effect. When it comes to serving community and presenting this data, what's the hope that government can do?
Yeah, I think the hope is that we continue having collaboration, that they take into consideration what folks in this report are saying that they need to change in their lives in order to stop using a food bank. And I'm hoping that, some of these initiatives are taken into consideration during budget period and all of the other times in which they can implement good policy.
Thank you so much. And people at home, what can you do? You can volunteer. You can donate food, money, time, all of it. Okay, see you more at 8:38.
A new national survey finds millions of Canadians still don't have a family doctor, but there has been slight improvement. CTV's Pauline Chan has the results.
The 2025 Our Care study shows a slight drop in the number of Canadians without a primary care doctor or nurse practitioner from 6.5 million people in 2022 to 5.9 million.
Access to primary care has improved in some ways, but in other ways it continues to be a challenge.
Study author Dr. Tara Kieran says even those who have a family doctor complain they're often unable to reach them. And the study reveals other gaps across demographic groups. 87.7% of those over age 65 report having regular primary care, compared to 74.7% of those under 65. 83.5% of women have regular primary care versus 79.4% of men. And 84% of those earning $200,000 or more have a family doctor, compared to only 69.6% of those earning less than $20,000 a year.
They also face a number of other barriers to having good health. When you don't have the money to be able to buy healthy food, to exercise regularly, to get all of the things that you need on a day-to-day basis to be healthy, and then on top of that have lower access to primary care.
But Dr. Joss Reimer says the overall trend is encouraging.
Particularly in the context of the last 3 years having quite a lot of immigration and population growth in Canada. So given so much population growth, it's actually quite remarkable that we have improved the number of people who have access to a family doctor or nurse practitioner.
For the future, Reimer would like to see more emphasis on team-based care.
Family doctors can't be everything to everyone, and if we can bring in nurse practitioners and social workers and occupational therapists and many other provider types into the same clinic, we know we can provide better care to patients.
She also encourages increasing the numbers of various types of healthcare providers.
We know that Canada's population is aging, and they're going to require more healthcare providers, more healthcare hours.
Early next year, the study authors will be publishing a companion report focusing on provincial and territorial differences. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy birthday, Michelle. Love from all your family. Happy 41st birthday, Margaret, with love and best wishes from Michaela, Jalen, Danica, Keisha, and your grandbabies, Amari and Emery. Happy 66th birthday, Murph, with love from your family, who wishes you a wonderful day. Happy birthday, Flora. Lots of love coming from your family and friends. And a happy 15th birthday to Sarah, with love from your family. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff. 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca. Weather brought to you by the Winnipeg Humane Society. From all the dogs, cats, and critters, thank you for your kindness.
All right, a pleasant start to your day, and it might be the only above seasonal day that we're going to experience throughout the rest of this week. Expecting a high today of -7, and -9 is normal for this time of year. We did a little bit better last year as far as warmth goes at -5.5, but it was all the way back in 2015 when we set that record at more than 5 degrees, +5. Although I was thinking this morning, it's only been a couple of weeks. So I was on holiday last week, and before I left, it was just that weekend before I went away that we were in double digits on the plus side of freezing. And by the end of that weekend, we were in the minus double digits. And then 1 week later, and here we are with these well below seasonal temperatures. Although, like I said, today will be a break from the cold, knowing that it's coming back again tomorrow in a pretty big way. -11 is where we sit right now. A little bit of light snow falling and a little bit more that's already accumulated from what fell last night. But there's going to be more of that falling through the day. So expect to maybe have a little bit of shoveling or sweeping to do as far as getting that snow out of your way. It's not affecting the drive too much, but visibility is somewhat reduced with that fog this morning. Now, snow, like I said, through the afternoon, overnight, and still tomorrow morning. And then throughout the day tomorrow, that's when the temperatures will drop off. Today will still be rising to a high of -7, keeping us above seasonal. But as they fall through the day tomorrow, that's when the cold sets in and lasts through the rest of the week. So expect to have to throw those extra layers on, although even today, -7, you're still going to want to bundle up a little bit. But just know that it's going to get colder as we continue through the rest of the week.
Thank you, Terry. A Manitoba goalie playing in Washington is putting on a fundraiser to help people here struggling with their mental health. 19-year-old Raiden Legal plays for the WHL's Everett Silver Stips. The player is selling shirts and hoodies with a portion of the proceeds staying in Manitoba. The initiative is called Another Brick in the Wall. Joining us now is Everett Silver Tips netminder Raiden Legal. Good morning, Raiden.
Morning.
Thank you for joining us. Now, you're from Morden, Manitoba. You're playing in the States. What a dream that must be. Are you living your dream come true right now?
Yeah, no, it's been awesome living out here. It's a lot rainier, but yeah, it's been great since getting out here to play hockey for sure.
Okay, well, let's talk about how mental health and grief affected you personally and why you wanted to take this on.
Yeah, so it's been a project me and my goalie coach as well as the booster club out here have been doing. It's something that's been really important to him, and sort of dealing with mental health problems from losing a loved one has been sort of a pretty big thing for him, and I love to be able to help him out, and that's sort of been the idea behind our project that we've been doing.
Okay, so tell us about this campaign though. Now it's called Another Brick in the Wall. What is the symbolism and the messaging in that?
Yeah, for us it's been sort of being a goalie. You're sort of the wall trying to stop the pucks, and last year, probably about a year ago now, he made some shirts with the design on it and surprised me for Christmas with them actually. And we're like, this year we decided to sort of make a project out of it. And yeah, the support we've gotten has been unreal so far.
I love that it's a little goalie or a little Lego goalie.
Yeah, that's actually there's a bricks and minifigures store here in Everett that sort of helps us support from that side. And they were able to get the approval from Lego themselves to actually use the Lego guy, so it's pretty cool to do that.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so we just saw a T-shirt. There's also sweatshirts. Tell us a little bit about the fundraising campaign and what you're hoping to do.
Yeah, so the Booster Club, I guess I reached out to the Booster Club here, which does an amazing job helping us out here in Everett, and they were completely on board with it to sort of do everything from getting the shirts ready, sweaters ready. I think they're doing stickers now as well at the games. And then, so my goalie coach's brother actually made the design back home. He did it last year and sort of revamped it this year to make it a little bit better. But yeah, they've sort of done most of the work for me. I haven't done too much myself, but yeah, it's been great.
Okay, so a part of the money raised will go to support the Eden Healthcare Services. Why was that selected, and why is it important for you to support it?
Yeah, so half of it is going out here to Camp Erin, which sort of helps children up to the age of 17 that have had sort of a loss in their life and need something to do on weekends to sort of be able to talk about it and some activities to do. And then the other half is going to Eden Healthcare in Southern Manitoba. It's sort of, we reached out to them and asked if they'd be interested in us helping support, and they were all in on it. So yeah, it's been great to be able to support them.
And why was that organization important to you?
Yeah, sort of. It's Southern Health, so I'm from Morden. It's sort of the whole Southern Health region that if anyone needs help, they're able to reach out and they give you the support you need. And yeah, it's been great.
Radin, what's the main message that you want to get across with this campaign?
Yeah, just if you're ever struggling, just to reach out for help. It's like, it's always better to talk things through instead of keep them to yourselves, because that'll sort of only make it worse. And I think it's really important to just talk about stuff.
Okay, so if someone wants to support this, where can they find these items, these shirts, these stickers?
I think there's a link, or if you just sort of go online and look it up, I'm sure you can find it, but I have a link too. I don't know if you guys have it at all.
Well, we're looking at it right now, so it'll be easy enough to find, and we'll have a link on our website as well. Radin, thank you for your time today. And are you coming home for Christmas?
Yeah, I'm looking forward. It's about a little under 2 weeks now till I'm coming home for Christmas, so really looking forward to that.
I'm sure your family is too. Thanks, Radin. Have a great day. Happy holidays.
Yeah, thank you very much. You too.
Hello there, Adam Scully with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for that, we're heading to Utah. Kings and the Mammoth 3-on-2 rush for LA. Check out Adrian Kempe. What a dangle. Score on the backhand, his 10th goal of the season, and he does it in style, earning the must-see moment from Monday. Now tonight on TSN, we've got some college hoops for you. It's the Jimmy V Classic as Clemson takes on BYU. It all starts at 6:30 Eastern on TSN 1 and 4. That's all from the TSN newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds, helping your home get holiday ready with Blinds by Hunter Douglas.
This is a look at the drive so far on Taché Avenue. It looks like things are moving well here. We're going to take a break. We'll be back after this with your 8 o'clock headlines. Stay with us. It's Tuesday, December 9th, grading the crossing after 6 months of ground level access. A look at how Portage Main's reopening is affecting users on foot and on wheels. Travel uncertainty. What's the best strategy according to industry observers if the pending Air Transat labor action ends up grounding your flight? And there's no Nobel Prize for culinary excellence, but the chefs behind this banquet are hoping their surprise menu wins admiration from the honored laureates. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock on your Tuesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. If you're looking for gift ideas, we're going to have all kinds for you in the next hour, including some from the Forks and some really great locally made products. So we're going to show you that. Also, if you have a book lover on your list, we're going to have some books from McNally Robinson on really...
I hint to anyone who has me on the list.
Always me, yes. And we're going to have so many great ideas. So stay tuned for that. But the weather, it looks very Christmassy outside.
I love how clean and fresh everything is looking. Yeah, a nice dusting from yesterday and last night that continued overnight. And so things are looking so very clean this morning. Minus 11 is where we're sitting right now. It feels like minus 19 with winds out of the west at 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 91%. Soon the sun will be out. We're still waiting another about 13 minutes to go. I think 8:14 is official sunrise this morning, so things will start to look a little bit brighter. Although I always say with that fresh dusting of snow and the way it, the light from, well, street lamps or maybe the moon is still kind of full-ish. The way that bounces off the lights, things are looking a little brighter this morning. Will certainly look a little bit brighter when that... I was going to say when the sun comes up, but actually we're not going to be seeing much of that sunshine today. So never mind that statement. What we will be seeing more of is the snow. There you can see on the satellite image how active it's looking. Just a little bit of it started again here in the southeast, but plenty more moving through southwestern Manitoba right now, and we'll continue to see more of that as the day goes on and as this system continues to push a little bit further to the east. Clearing out, though, through parts of northern Manitoba, that's where the sun will be shining today. Looking a little bit brighter, feeling a little bit colder. It's actually only going going to warm to about -20s in the far northeast, whereas here in the south, we actually could be in for one above seasonal day before the mercury really starts to drop off. Now, that snow, once it develops or picks up later today, will continue overnight and tomorrow, eventually clearing off. But there's another round later this week that could be passing through again. Now, tomorrow, those temperatures will be falling off after enjoying slightly milder weather today. -9 is actually normal for this time of year, but will drop well below that tomorrow afternoon and remain below seasonal throughout the rest of the week. And a big thanks to Olivia, just 2 years old, but she's an artist for sure. Love what you've done here, Olivia, and we'd love to see more of your art. So keep drawing, coloring, painting, and send that picture to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Many feared the reopening of Portage Main to foot traffic back in June would add big delays to commute times. However, new data from the City of Winnipeg is showing the intersection reopening has had a relatively negligible impact on traffic. The city says it completed a travel time analysis using data collected from GPS-enabled vehicles before and after the intersection opened. It says the analysis focused on 4 key routes leading to the intersection. Of those routes, morning commutes increased by less than a minute for 2 of the routes. For afternoon commutes, travel times increased on 3 routes by 1 to 2 minutes, with 1 route seeing a travel time decrease by 1 minute.
It's very encouraging. There was a lot of doomsday, kind of noise that before it opened that, there would be a lot of accidents and traffic delays would be long. That just hasn't happened.
The city says more than 3,500 people have crossed at Portage Main daily since September the 1st. Winnipeg Transit is presenting its budget proposals to city councillors, and officials say this year transit didn't pull in as much money as expected. In 2024, Winnipeg Transit managed to restore ridership to 95% of pre-pandemic numbers. But this past year, the number dropped to 89%, a dip of about 6 percentage points. Part of the decline was anticipated due to the changes rolled out this summer. However, Winnipeg Transit says the numbers started falling at the end of last year before the new routes went into effect. Public Works Committee Chair Janice Luke suspects safety concerns could be a factor. This fall, Winnipeg police officers started patrolling Winnipeg Transit buses. Air Transat pilots could walk off the job tomorrow. So what should you do if you have a flight booked?
Until you actually get a cancellation notice, don't do anything other than planning. Have ideas for plan B. You should not have to cut your holiday or vacation short because Air Transat may be going on strike.
Experts say if you're booked with Air Transat, don't cancel your trip. Air Transat says it is offering a credit for those who cancel by December 12th. But air passenger rights advocate Gabor Lukács says if a passenger cancels their own flight, the airline could legally be off the hook for any other potential compensation. Negotiations between Air Transat and its pilots started nearly 1 year ago. The pilots want better pay, better working conditions, and job security. A few dozen chefs have gathered in Sweden and entrusted with the task of making the 3-course meal for the annual Nobel Prize banquet. Laureates, their families, Swedish royalty, and other heavy hitters are arriving in Stockholm this week for the annual banquet. The chefs will be making a secret menu for 1,300 people. It won't be revealed until the guests are seated, but the chefs have given a few hints. Nordic forest ingredients are featured, like dried porcini mushrooms in the first course and wild raspberries for dessert. There's also 400 bottles of champagne on hand. Here's a look at what's going on now in traffic along Kenaston Boulevard. You can see things have picked up over here, but overall moving well. We have no issues to report at this point in the drive. If you see any problems, though, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Let's go down to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Harvest, Manitoba. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. They just released the Voices report, and it's important that we actually have a conversation with the people behind the data. This is James joining me now, and not everybody wants to end up in a situation, an emergency situation, where they need to utilize the food bank. Take us back in time, James, to when that was you.
Yeah, when I got told that I had to get off of work and go home until the doctor gives me the clearance. And so far, I haven't had no clearance. And things are hard right now, so to survive. Things cost so much, everything's going up. Prices, hydro, everything. It's unbelievable how to survive. Sometimes I say to myself, I can understand for the other people that's on the street how hard it is. If it wasn't for me and for my mother to be together, we would be on the street ourselves. And I really appreciate for all the help we're getting to survive, to eat and everything else. So it's good to have these places to help others. And then I say to myself, when I was donating and everything else, I say to myself, I wouldn't want to be in those shoes. I would like to be treated just like others, to be helped. So that's pretty much the way I think about the things. So what you do to others will come back to you. That's the way I say. And that's what always my grandfather told me.
And when you see other people here in your same situation as well, what goes through your mind?
I said, wow, I'm not the only one in trouble. Like I said, times are really hard right now, so it's good to have help. And I can see there's other people that's worse than I am. So I always say to myself, oh, there's worse places to be. So we're very appreciative for all the things that's happening right now.
Counting our blessings with gratitude. Thank you so much, James.
From God.
There we go. Thank you so much. And it's important to hear from the actual people behind the numbers. We have another conversation at 8:38.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Talented Canadian-born twins are making history on the game show stage and are a force to be reckoned with. Here's CTV's John Venivalle-Rao on the brothers proving that savvy trivia skills run in the family.
We asked Ray Lalonde what it was like when he was first on Jeopardy back in 2023 and had a remarkable winning streak.
I won 13 games in a row.
It was something only about a dozen contestants had ever done in the 60-year history of the game. And now Ray and his brother making more Jeopardy history.
Honestly, it's a little surreal.
A medical physicist from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Ron Lalonde.
Surreal because that is Ray's twin, who's been on the show this month.
And if our champion, Ron Lalonde, looks familiar to you, that's not just deja vu. You're thinking of his identical twin brother, Ray, who was also a Jeopardy champion.
The pair were raised in Thunder Bay and came from a family of 7 kids. Ron says they grew up watching Jeopardy long before Alex Trebek was the host.
My mother's a huge fan, and so we watched that pretty much every night in the old Art Fleming days back in the 70s.
The brothers have an amazing ability to remember trivia, and when Ray got on the show, Ron decided to keep trying himself to be a contestant.
And having the same kind of mind, I figured I'd do pretty well as well, so wanted to have that chance.
In the family.
Host Ken Jennings joking that Ron could in fact be Ray trying to get back on the show.
Is there a way to prove that you are not, in fact, Ray Lalonde, inventing a twin just to get a second crack at Jeopardy?
He's here.
He's here today. Hi, Ray.
Ray says it's been fun to see his brother compete.
My friends are calling me up going, I can't believe, I almost thought that was you on TV again.
And while twins have been on Jeopardy before, Ron and Ray are the first to both win multiple games. And they say they have siblings that are even smarter.
Ron.
What a rocking chairs.
That's right.
Encouraging them to also try out for the show. John Venivalle-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Uncanny. All right. Here's a look outside this morning, and it's beautiful. A little bit foggy, as you can see, but also crisp and fresh and clean with that white, fresh dusting of snow. And the snow continues to fall throughout the morning now. I look through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. And yeah, there's a better look off into the distance of how that fog might be affecting you. So just keep that in mind. You might need to drop your speed a little bit this morning and keep your lights on. I know we're almost at sunrise time, but with that fog hanging around, your lights will help you see and be seen through the fog. Minus 11, that's where we're sitting right now. As far as temperatures go, that's slightly above seasonal. Minus 19, that would be a normal low, and we're well above that all across southern Manitoba. Now, moving further into northern Manitoba, you will notice the temperatures get a little bit colder yet. We're pushing now into the low minus 20s, but that's before before we're factoring in the breeze. You add in a little bit of wind and wind chill values pushing you into those almost mid-minus 30s in that most northern stretch of the province. Here with the winds, it's actually feeling closer to seasonal. Minus 19 would be a normal low temperature, and we'll get that once we're factoring in winds as far as the wind chill value goes this morning. Snow-wise, there you can see it is still more active through southwestern Manitoba, but that snow starting to move in over us, and we're starting to see some of that coming down now. So a little bit of flurry activity throughout the day today. Minus 10 as kids get settled into the classroom in the 9 o'clock hour. By lunchtime, minus 9, and our expected high today is minus 7. Now, minus 9 would be normal, but we'll go a couple degrees above it. Enjoy that. Things will be getting colder after today, and that's because the temperatures through the afternoon tomorrow will be falling and dropping off below seasonal, and that's where we're going to stay then throughout the rest of the week. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Here at Your Morning, we love the sights of the season, and we want to see how you've decorated for the holidays. All those nutcrackers, lights, and trees could help you win a $500 gift card from Red River Co-op and have the chance to show off your holiday house live on Your Morning Winnipeg with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca, fill out the form, and submit some pictures. Good luck.
Microsoft says it will build 2 regional data centers in Canada in a promise to uphold digital sovereignty here. It will spend $7.5 billion over the next 2 years, but could face challenges as Canada reassesses its deal with U.S. tech giants while the relationship with U.S. President Donald Trump is strained. Ottawa has pushed for more homegrown data centers in its push for digital independence. NVIDIA has received clearance from U.S. President Donald Trump to export its advanced artificial intelligence chips to China. In a Truth Social post late Monday, Trump said the U.S. will allow NVIDIA to ship its H200 products to approved customers in China and other countries. But China's regulators are discussing ways to limit permits for the chips, according to the Financial Times, citing 2 people familiar with the matter. And another twist, an Ontario man and a second man are being held for allegedly trying to smuggle $160 million U.S. worth of chips into China. Ben Lin Wan could be charged under U.S. export control laws. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
If you're looking to support local businesses when shopping this holiday season, the Forks Trading Company at the Forks, the Forks Trading Company at the Forks, indeed, is bursting with locally made items. Joining us now from Forks Trading Company is Grace Anastasiadis. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I love visiting your store. There's so many unique things that are happening in there, and what's really great is you're supporting local makers and vendors as well, right?
Yes, we support over 150 local makers in our store alone. Winnipeg has such a vibrant maker community, and that's something that we just love to do. We love to showcase talent. We have young entrepreneurs under 18 all the way to senior citizens in our store.
And it's really great to explore in your store because there's so many different items there as well. Yes. We are in the midst of a trade war with the U.S., of course, and there was this movement to, buy local, support Canadian-made products. Yeah. Are you still seeing that kind of movement?
Absolutely. We're finding people that really want to support our local economy and keep our businesses thriving. Mm-hmm. And that's one way to do it, is by supporting local. And not only that, through the holidays, you get to support young makers, new makers, get something new and festive under your tree. Unique, one-of-a-kind items that you can find.
You brought so many different items here this morning. You're going to take us down all the many different items, including, we're going to start off with the sweatshirt, right? Or this hoodie. Tell us about that.
That's Payless Fishing Tackle. That was once an iconic store in Winnipeg.
Yes.
It was revived in 2021, so we carry a number of apparel items from them, from hoodies and hats to handmade fishing lures and fisherman's scrub. Again, all local. You're supporting a local business thrive.
So the angler in your life who wants to get out there. Okay.
Absolutely.
What else do you have?
We have one of our makers featured in our Maker Fair this week called Mad Mike Studios.
Okay.
He's Mike Beaudry. He creates robots out of scrap metal pieces. They all have a unique charm. They all different sizes. Right at the very end there, yes, with the scarf. So they're fun. They're all unique, one-of-a-kind items. He carries prints and robots in various sizes. So come on down. He's there all the way till Sunday.
So cool. Okay, what else you got? I see pickles are a big deal.
Yes, pickles have their moment this year. So if you're looking for that novelty item, there are snacks and gummy candy, saltwater taffy, and for the gourmet inside of you, you, there's a dill pickle sauce from Gavelsberg Sauces and mustard. It's
okay.
Won an award actually for that particular one.
That is so cool. This is actually
saltwater taffy.
That's taffy in a dill pickle flavor.
Yes.
That's a great stocking stuffer.
Perfect for this.
What else do you have? You have some jewelry in the front there.
We do. We have handmade jewelry by Together and Go, so handcrafted leather items. A little bit of sparkle, but she carries a lot of regular items as well. So something for every day and something for a night out.
Okay.
One of One, that's one of our young entrepreneurs creating local fragrances, one of a kind, travel size bottles, easy to go put in your bag after work or on a plane when you're getting away after the holidays.
Very Manitoba institution, Jeannie's Bakery. Tell us about these.
Absolutely. If you grew up loving Jeannie's cake, you're going to love these exclusives at Forks Trading Company. We have the shortbread cookie biscuit mix.
Oh, neat.
And we've also bottled that amazing cake flavor in a candle. So you will smell that cake long after that last slice is gone.
Okay, what else do you have here? You have some sauces?
We do. We have sauces by Stone City Roasters. So they're handcrafted, hand-roasted, small-batched coffee beans. So we have their festive holiday blend along with their syrups. So we have pepper nuts and crispy donut with many more to come in the store.
We're already out of time. Where can people find you?
We're at the Forks Trading Company on the second level at the Portage Main Market.
Thank you for sharing this with us and bringing us all these goodies.
Thank you for having me.
All right, it's pleasant out here this morning. It's looking gorgeous too, so pretty and festive with a fresh dusting of snow that was falling yesterday afternoon overnight. Tapered off briefly earlier this morning, but it's starting to pick up again. Minus 11 is where we are sitting right now, though, well above seasonal. When you compare that to a normal low, minus 19, that would be normal for this time of year. I am still putting the gloves on this morning, and I'm only out here for a minute, so that's just indicative of, I mean, it's above seasonal, but still, it's minus 11 this morning. All right, those winds, they're 18 clicks out of the southeast. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 92%. I was saying yesterday, because I came back from vacation and the temperatures were a bit of a shock, and I was complaining first thing, but by the afternoon, or later in the morning, I suppose, when I was walking home, properly dressed for the weather, it's beautiful, it's pleasant, and I mean, this is what we've got to get used to now. We do have one above seasonal day today, with the mercury still expected to climb to about minus 7, but by tomorrow it's going to be even colder yet, because tomorrow's temperatures might start out milder in the morning but continue to fall off through the afternoon. We're also going to see this snow to pick up a little more so later this afternoon. That'll continue overnight and through tomorrow morning, eventually tapering off, but by then these temperatures will have slid, and a few degrees below seasonal is what you can expect through the rest of the week. I love this picture taken out in Victoria Beach of this reindeer. It's not a reindeer. Anyway, it's just a deer looking all pretty and festive. Thanks to Darren for the photo. Keep the pics coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca, and we'll see you right after this break.
Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful, helping your home get holiday ready with blinds from Hunter Douglas.
When you give a child a winter coat, you give them the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside, because no child should be freezing cold. Donate to Coats for Kids, proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
Good morning. Window strikes are deadly to birds and disturbing to residents, but City Council is considering scrapping a bylaw which requires bird-friendly measures on windows in some developments. CTV's Harrison Shin explains why an expert in bird migration is calling this proposal a step backward.
A year-old bylaw aimed at reducing window strikes by birds is being reviewed in response to concerns by developers, and an expert in bird migration calls it a surprise move.
The bylaw was only implemented about a year or so ago, so it hasn't really had its chance to do its work yet for migratory birds, thousands of which are passing through our city every spring and fall on migration.
The city is now proposing to take out bird-friendly window requirements from the, quote, malls and corridors plant development overlay after hearing from developers that the measure has made it difficult for them to source materials and keep down costs.
The cost increase is not insignificant for for a mid to larger multifamily project. You're talking in the hundreds of thousands of dollars in terms of increased cost just on the windows alone.
McInnes says windows are specialized, requiring etching or coating, which are special orders. He points out that there are other factors that lead to window strikes, such as lighting, shade, and wind patterns. But for Fraser, this seems to be a step backward.
One really good estimate suggested that 25 million birds die with windows every single year in Canada. So while that sounds like a really awful number, it seems like something that we can readily solve. We know what we need to do to windows to make them more friendly for birds.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
As the countdown continues toward a work stoppage at Air Transat, what's your best move if you're booked to fly? CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin looks at the options.
Travelers scheduled to take off aboard Air Transat are now trying to plan their next move.
I want my granddaughter to meet all my friends and, the people of Cuba.
Marlene Galliott's first trip to Cuba with her 9-month-old granddaughter is now up in the air. Her bags are packed and she has a ticket to fly out Saturday.
Should I cancel my hotel? Should we cancel the flight? Should we rebook? I have no clue.
Until a strike is actually triggered, says air passenger rights advocate Gabor Lukács, the best move is not to make a move.
Until you actually get a cancellation notice, don't do anything other than planning. Have ideas for plan B.
Air Transat says it's offering passengers flexibility. Those booked to fly from now until December 12th can cancel for credit valid for 12 months. But once passengers cancel their own flights, the airline could legally be off the hook for any other potential compensation. Air Transat has sent notices like this one to some passengers abroad, moving up the return home for some travelers on 4 added flights. The carrier says they will be entitled to a refund for unused hotel nights, but that's only if they bought a travel package including flight and hotel through Air Transat. Lukács says passengers should not make concessions to carriers and give away legal rights.
You should not have to cut your holiday or vacation short because Air Transat may be going on strike. And what Air Transat is doing is somewhat of a scare tactic.
Galliot hopes the strike will be averted and that she will be enjoying the sunshine in Cuba soon. But all the turbulence in air travel is taking its toll.
We love traveling, but now we have to think twice before we even buy a ticket to travel.
And another piece of advice from advocates to travelers is to record conversations they have with the carrier. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
A look outside. The sun is up now. It's just tucked behind those clouds, and it's going to stay there throughout the day today. Those clouds bringing a little fresh dusting of snow, and the city's looking clean and bright. It's -11 right now with southeast winds 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 92%. A little bit of fog along with that snow, so visibility might be somewhat reduced. And that snow, it's starting to stack up a little bit. That's mostly from what fell last night. So if you were parked outside, for example, an extra minute or two to sweep that car off from the snow that would have accumulated there. But there's going to be more falling through the day, and you can see that here on the satellite image. Far more active through the southwestern part of the province, but it has started to show up here in the southeast, and this whole system continuously tracking further to the east. Best chance of seeing a brighter, sunnier day will be up in the far northern part of the province. We're not going to be seeing that sunshine, but we are still going to enjoy above seasonal temperatures. We're already at -11 right now, when -19 is a normal daytime high, but will climb to about -7, surpassing a seasonal high of -9. Enjoy it today because this will be the last of the above seasonal days, although we do have an above seasonal night ahead before it gets colder yet. We're only going to drop down to about -12 overnight, likely to see that snow continuing and right into tomorrow morning. It won't be cold first thing, but it will get colder as the day goes on. From -12 or overnight low, we'll drop to about -16 by tomorrow afternoon. Eventually things will start to taper off and clear out a little bit. Really not seeing the sunshine in full force until the weekend. And by then, look where these temperatures will be sliding to. We've got some colder weather ahead.
Thank you, Terry. The Winnipeg Police Service is asking for the public's help in locating a person missing since July of this year. Police say 49-year-old Millicent Powell was last seen July 18th in the area of Elma, Manitoba. Powell is described as being 5'7" in height with a medium build, black and gray hair and brown eyes. The Winnipeg Police Service asks anyone with information regarding the whereabouts of Millicent Powell to contact the Missing Persons Unit at 204-986-6250 or Crime Stoppers at 204-786-8477. A city committee has shot down an idea to explore a photo-based public reporting parking system.
And I'm moving this motion because of the way everything involved. It's been a great learning experience
I don't think we're quite ready to explore right now.
The Winnipeg Parking Authority wanted to explore a system where enforcement officers could examine photos of parking violations sent in by the public and then mail out tickets based on the picture only. They claimed it would be a better way to use resources and deter people from parking illegally. The committee also heard there is software that can detect when a photo is fraudulent, and the Parking Authority also said at first they would only be looking at specific infractions like illegally parking in a disabled spot or a fire zone, but some had concerns this could lead to conflicts between the person snapping the photo and the vehicle's owner.
Going to be able to get out of that without an altercation taking place? That's really the questions I have with it, and why would we want to encourage our citizens to do that?
Public Works Committee Chair Janice Luke says the motion defeating the Citizen Reporting Initiative is for next year, but looking at this down the road was not ruled out. Going forward, getting into MPI's driver training program won't be like landing tickets for a popular concert. Registering for the Driver Z program was on a first-come, first-served basis. Now students need to sign up at an MPI service center or broker by January the 3rd. Then they'll get an email telling them when and how to register, with older students getting earlier registration windows. MPI says the idea is to take the stress off parents and students. Manitoba's Premier is preparing to present his third State of the Province address. Wab Kinew will take center stage today to share his government's accomplishments and present his vision for the next few years. The yearly event is typically attended by business and community leaders. The event is scheduled for 11 a.m. at the RBC Convention Centre. Ottawa is fast-tracking the path to permanent residence in Canada for foreign-trained physicians. It's part of a push to connect more doctors with patients at a time when nearly 6 million Canadians don't have access to primary care. CTV's Mike Le Couture looks into who qualifies and how quickly they can get to work.
Here I am again, daily, looking for a doctor.
It's a frustrating routine for Joan Alexander. After donating a kidney 8 years ago, she needs regular doctor supervision. But she hasn't been able to find one since moving to Ottawa 4 months ago.
My biggest fear is that we will need some emergency care, and then that will be our only resource to go to an emergency room.
In an effort to bolster the number of doctors in this country, the federal government is opening a new system to fast-track permanent residency for doctors who are working in Canada.
Many of these doctors are already treating patients in our communities. We cannot afford to lose them.
The program creates an express entry category for international doctors with at least 1 year Canadian experience in an eligible occupation. The federal government is reserving 5,000 spots for provincially nominated doctors, and those healthcare workers will get expedited 14-day work permit processing. The measures come as a national survey shows 5.9 million Canadians still don't have primary care. It's actually an improvement compared to 3 years ago, but those that do have a doctor still struggle with getting a timely or urgent appointment.
Less than 50% reported being able to get that. So we still have a long way to go in terms of providing timely care and care when people need it.
The immigration minister says provinces and territories will be able to start nominating physicians for the Express Entry program in early 2026.
Here's a look now at what's happening along Donald Street. It looks like things have picked up over here, as you could see, and we do have another traffic notes to share with you. A crash is blocking the eastbound curb lane on Ness approaching Century. Emergency vehicles are on scene there, so you might want to avoid that area if you can. If you have any other traffic tips or updates to share, text them to us, please. Here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.27. The provincial average is lower at $1.16. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.14, and the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.07. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
For our question of the day, we wanted to know what's your favorite type of book genre. Marlene's favorite book genre is self-help, inspiration, and autobiographies. Sharon says her favorite book genre is historical fiction, and she enjoys a story with a strong female protagonist. Thank you so much for your responses. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Harvest Manitoba this morning. The need there is great. People could do so many things to support them. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. And that starts with community giving back. Rob's the perfect example of that. He joins me now. You are a friendly face that people get to see when they come here. Probably the most popular guy in the room. Tell us about why you do it.
I just come here because my friend told me a long time ago I can come here and make $100 and I qualify for disability. It gives me purpose, passion, heart, determination, and I just keep coming here, and it's like a family and everybody knows your name, and I just love coming here. I can never get enough of it.
And you said a long time ago, you need to specify just how long, because it has been quite some time.
I've been here almost 14 years. I'm on my 14th year right now.
And tell me what you like about it.
I like pretty much everything about this place. The people, the environment, giving back, to the community, and I just feel good about it. And when I leave, I feel good about myself that I gave back and helped people and make a difference.
Speaking of the people and the heart of it all, we've been talking numbers all morning about how food bank use is certainly growing. From your standpoint as a volunteer, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing a large amount of quality, and a lot of people need help, like families, children, the elderly. Things are just a lot harder for people now, even for like people on incomes and working full time. People still find it hard to make ends meet, or go paycheck to paycheck. And it just seems to be a struggle for everybody, and including me. I even go to a food bank myself personally as well. So
if you were to tell the community one thing about Harvest before we're out of time, what would it be?
If you can donate your time and come on down as a group or an individual, we need all the help we can get here.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
14 years. Wow. Harvest Manitoba is doing such amazing things in our community. If you want to donate your time, food, money, whatever it is, head to a link on our website for more details.
Yes, indeed. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now where our Terry is. And how's it feeling out there right now?
Not bad. I'm noticing the breeze a little bit more than I was noticing it earlier this morning. This is the most that I've noticed it, in fact. But even still, even with that wind factored in and a wind chill value of -19, that feels on par with what is normal for this time of year. But our temperatures are actually well above, sitting at -11 right now. We do have that breeze, as I mentioned. It's out of the southeast right now, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 92%. So looking a little bit brighter now. The sun is higher in the sky, but it's still behind those clouds, and we likely won't be seeing much of it today. Instead, more snow expected. Right now, I'm just seeing a few ice crystals in the air. There were some more active flurries about an hour ago, but they've tapered off. Not for long. We will likely see more of that activity developing as the day goes on. It's far more active through southwestern Manitoba, but that whole system will be rolling right across southern Manitoba, and even central Manitoba, you're in for a bit of snow. Even parts of the northwest. Northeastern Manitoba is where things will look a little bit brighter. Best chance of seeing the sunshine today, though it'll be considerably cooler across the far north in the low 20s. -20s, pardon me. Now, it's going to get cooler for us as well. Today, we will have an above seasonal day, climbing to about -7 here in Winnipeg, slightly above the seasonal -9. But tomorrow, throughout the afternoon, those temperatures will continue to drop off from our overnight low of about -12. We'll end up at about -16 by tomorrow afternoon. And from there, we're going to stay below seasonal all throughout the rest of the week and into the coming weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
One of Canada's oldest mechanical Christmas displays is back for another season. It was commissioned right here in Winnipeg, but after traveling the country for years, the display has found a home in Saskatoon, where one volunteer makes sure families can continue to make it part of their holiday tradition. CTV's Laura Woodward explains.
This is where the magic happens, Randall Simpson's workshop. But unlike Santa, he's not building toys. He's fixing the Once Upon a Christmas display.
The majority of what you see here was
built in 1946.
Originally commissioned by the Eaton's department store, built with war surplus materials and shown in Winnipeg. Over the years, it's traveled across the country until 1977, when it was consolidated at the Saskatoon Eaton's store, later acquired by the Western Development Museum, where it's been a holiday fixture for 38 years.
What's interesting is you look through the original display, and there's no reference to Rudolph. Because he never existed until 1947, when Burl Ives sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
One of Simpson's favorite displays is Pumpkinhead, the sad little bear, created by the same Canadian cartoonist behind Bugs Bunny.
His story is that he's got a bad hair day, and all the other bears make fun of him, but he's the only one that can wear a special hat to go with Santa on his sleigh.
Behind each little movement is a lot of mechanical work.
It's really, really simple technology. There's no electronics in this whatsoever. Everything's mechanically run.
And some of the belts are still the 80-year-old originals.
I am primarily involved in maintaining and keeping it running, because it does break down a lot.
And Simpson does all of it without any formal mechanical training.
I was raised by a father who was born on a farm and has a economic gene in him, and he instilled that with me, and so anything I can do myself I do, because I got more time than money.
And it's Simpson's dedication that keeps this Christmas tradition running. Laurel Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Whether it's a fantasy, a murder mystery, or a romance, books are popular gift ideas for the reader in your life. McNally Robinson Booksellers has any book you'll need, or even unique gift ideas for every book lover. Joining us now from McNally Robinson is the co-owner, Chris Hall. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you don't have to convince me, because I love books, but why are books such a great gift idea during the holidays?
I like to think that you can find something for everyone on your list in our store. Even if somebody doesn't think they like books, they might like a topic that a book is on, and so you can find, I think, something for everyone in our store.
And it doesn't have to always be serious content. No. You can have fun with books as well.
Absolutely.
You brought many different genres here, and as well as some unique gift ideas that aren't really reading material per se, but still kind of fun. Let's start off with this end of the table.
Yes, Lori Gilmore, the Gingerbread Bakery. That is her latest in the Dream Harbor. It's a series, but they're all standalone. You can read them in whatever order. It's cozy romance, a little bit like a Hallmark movie. So the owner of the bakery and the owner of the bar are always at odds and arguing with each other, and then they get invited to the same wedding, and I think we all know that what happens then.
So this is a romance, and this is young adults as well.
Yeah, young adult, it'd be just fine. She came to the store, and judging by the audience, it's that 20-something female. Yeah.
Fun. So. Okay, and then this book here, tell us a little bit about this.
Yes, that is a local book. It's won the Governor General Award for fiction this year. So Kyle Edwards is Manitoban. This is a story set in Winnipeg. It's a couple of characters, Tomahawk, i.e. Tommy Shields and Clayton Whiteway. They're friends. They play hockey together, high school hockey, but their team is being threatened to be booted from the league for some reason, and there's this mystery element to why that's happening. But it's really a story about two young Indigenous high school students growing up in Winnipeg and all the challenges that and the community that they live in.
And their friendship, of course.
And their friendship, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, before we get to these cool things that are called book nooks, let's keep going to the next item here. This is Anna Olson's cookbook.
Yeah, Anna Olson probably needs no introduction. She has been around for a long time, a lot of cookbooks, a lot of TV shows. She really made her name in the last couple of decades, really, for baking, but she started by writing general cookbooks, and this is a return to general cookbooks.
And again, the images inside are beautiful. It's a stunning book. It's a great gift idea. Certified Beauties, what's that about?
Beauties, yes, this is James Duthie, TSN host, well known again. He came in for the Grey Cup, so we got him to the store to sign some books and got to meet him. That was great. This is stories from hockey players behind the scenes, pranks they play on each other, friendships that form. It's yeah, for a hockey fan, it's a great gift because it's just dip in, dip out.
Fun. Yeah. So short little stories.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so before we get to the France book that you brought, let's talk about the book nooks. These are so unique, so different. I want to push the button. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so set the scene here. What is this?
Well, these are the latest thing.
There it is. Okay.
They're kind of a 3D puzzle, so you have to assemble them. Some of them are complex, some of them are less complex. But once you get them built, they sit on your bookshelf. So literally, this it would sit on your bookshelf.
Oh, I
right,
see.
Right, and so you can look at them. They have scenes like old-fashioned like studies
so
and
cool.
reading corners and libraries, and this one over here is a Christmas scene. And,
these are fun. So it's not quite a book, but it feels cozy, and it's nostalgia.
Nostalgia, imagination.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we're almost out of time, so let's talk about the France book and its significance.
Well, this is the ultimate gift for a book lover. This is signing up for our traveling book club. Last year, 37 of us read books from Scotland over January, February, and March, and then in April we traveled to Scotland for 2 weeks and toured the areas from the books.
What a dream.
It was
So your
fun.
next big trip is France.
We're going to read books set in France this winter and then go to France in April and May.
I'm coming.
There was a reunion dinner in Prairie Ink restaurant this week from the 30 of the people that went to Scotland. So friendships formed. It was a lot of fun.
I guess so. A great
everyone's
gift
invited.
idea as well. Thank you so much, Chris, for sharing this with us. If you want more information, we have a link on our website.
Yeah, a little getaway, especially when it starts to get cold. Although I will say, I came back to the cold yesterday and I'm honestly not minding it. The trick is to properly bundle up so that you're not feeling the cold out there so much, and then you can actually enjoy winter for all it has to offer. Minus 11 right now, and it is looking wintry after that fresh snow continued to fall overnight. Still a few flakes falling, but there will be more throughout the day today. And a bit of a breeze out of the southeast, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 92%. Now, the snow isn't as active right now. We had it roll through. There's a little bit more just off to the east of us, but you can see another round about to come, and still plenty more all through the southwestern part of the province, pardon me. We'll be pushing into the southeastern part as the day continues. And for northern Manitoba, that might be your best chance of sunshine, but the temperatures there are even colder yet. Speaking of even colder yet, we're going to get there. Today, above seasonal temperatures headed to a high of -7. That is slightly above seasonal, -9, normal for this time of year. But tomorrow afternoon, those temperatures continue to drop off from our overnight low of -12. We'll end up at about -16, and from there, it gets even colder as we're looking ahead to the weekend. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Before we send you off on the day, we're going to show you some fun video. A special birthday party at a New Jersey school.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
The birthday boy is Cole, a deaf therapy dog. For his 9th birthday, the school threw him a big bash. The kids even learned how to sign the birthday song for him. This possum pup teaches students about compassion and acceptance, and that a disability is not an inability. He's so sweet.
The crown? Oh, my heart.
Now check out this cool cockatoo. I follow this guy on Instagram. He's got all the moves. His name is Jackson, and all he has to do is watch others do it first, and then he does it. Look at him. So talented.
Oh my goodness, love him. I also am a follower.
And then meetings are mandatory in most offices, so this is a reminder to mind your face. This woman is showing us the faces she thinks she makes during meetings versus the faces she actually makes, which includes skepticism, confusion, and boredom. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.